Ladies and gentlemen, it is April 9th, 2026. It's a Thursday transmission here on the Owen Report. Here's what's coming up today. Well, we've got a bit of a mixed bag today. We've got Melania Trump, who went to the podium at the White House in an attempt to clear her name, as far as the Epstein files are concerned, to clear her name and any connections that she has been accused of having to Epstein. She did a speech today, and then she made a request to Congress to have congressional hearings with the Epstein victims. That's kind of a wild card. That's kind of a curveball today. So we'll look into that. Now, I've got a couple Trump videos. We're going to do bookends with these Trump videos today. In the culture wars, in the narrative wars, what's going on with this war and the stock market? What's going on with Trump and his philosophy? Can you make any sense of it, or is it just pure nonsense? So we'll look at that. What about taxes? Are you going to be paying more or less in taxes this year? The numbers are out. Most Americans will be paying more in taxes, not less. It turns out the tax cuts are basically for the lowest tax brackets and the highest tax brackets. And then the middle class is actually stuck paying more. So we've got some numbers. We've got some reports on that. There is some activity in D.C. today. There was a war powers debate and vote if Trump has the power to basically go to war without congressional approval. We'll tell you how that one went. You might not be so surprised. Randy Fine. So, okay, I told you about that Dan Bilzerian interview. And then, of course, they do the selective editing and they put out the clip that goes viral, as I knew they would. And so you've probably seen it now. We do have that clip, but Randy Fine he's at it today. He is at it today, and it's quite hilarious to see what's coming out of the Randy Fine office. Quite ironic, actually. And then it's right next to this claim that's back in the media today with no confirmation, by the way. They're just claiming this, but we're going to look into this claim. There's an investigation ongoing into foreign influence on X. So what is this really about? What is the truth? And why are you hearing about this? Why do we keep hearing about this today? An American has been arrested for leaking to the media. We're going to look into that a little bit. You may have heard about this one. A veteran, actually, Delta Force veteran, accused of leaking to the media, has been arrested. Yes, the same story that the Israeli journalist claimed to have leaked. But nobody cares about that. If an Israeli leaks, it's okay. If an American leaks, it's bad. That's the message from that story. So we're going to look into that a little bit. A little bit in Iran today. A little bit of stuff on Charlie Kirk today. A couple other stories out of the White House. A couple other stories out of D.C. Oh, data centers back in the news today. These data centers are not popular, folks. Not popular. We got a couple stories on the data centers. And then as far as this advancement in technology, getting into our, let's say, civilian infrastructure, getting into our civilian participation even. What are cops doing now? What are cops doing with this new technology? We're talking about local police. And we've got a bit of a story there. All of that and more. Oh, and Roger Stone joining us in the third hour today.
This news update was brought to you by OwenSchroyer.store, the official site for Owen Report merchandise.
Folks, I got to let you know our friends at blackoutcoffee.com/Owen have a sale going on their instant coffee. You know that I'm a big fan of the instant coffee. Who doesn't want premium coffee instantly, especially if you're a coffee drinker? Who doesn't want premium coffee instantly? Come on. Well, you might be saying, I've tried the instant coffee stuff before, no good. But have you tried Blackout instant coffee? Probably not, if you're still saying that. Give them a try. On sale right now. Instant coffee comes in a box of 32 of their instant coffee packets. So great for on the run. So great when you're just looking for a cup of coffee, but you don't want to brew an entire pot. Tastes just like coffee. It really does scratch the itch. It's not like the rest of these instant coffees out there that really, I don't even know if you can call them coffee. This one hits, ladies and gentlemen. Premium instant coffee from blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. Remember, use coupon code Owen at checkout for your first purchase, and you can get 20% off.
On the cutting edge of news and analysis, the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
You tweet another threat, another fake attack, but we all know why your portfolio's flat. You need the market to drop, need the oil to crash, then you buy at the bottom, flip it for cash. You don't want a war, you want the price to fall. Fake news on Truth Social, that's your only call. You scream, open this straight, but why though? So your rich friends short and watch the money flow. Fake tweet, fake news, fake hope, fake clocks. Your whole game's a joke, make it stop. You crash the world and you buy the dip. Fake war, fake tears from your fake lip. You ain't a president, you're a traitor in disguise. Fake fear in people's eyes, that's your prize. Iran still here, the straits still closed. Fake clown exposed, decompose. You give a few hours, fake threat. You ain't a leader, you're a loser with debt. You want the market to bleed so you can drink it, but your own people sing while you sit and think it. Should I tweet again? Should I make them cry? Bro, your whole economy's a beautiful lie. You hit Iran, the whole region goes dark, and your own ship stops. Who lights the spark? Fake power, fake muscle, fake bite, fake bark. Your best was 2 bridges in a city park. Now sit on your throne made of gold and shame. You played with fire, now watch your own flame. Fake hope, fake dope, fake rope, fake slow. You're choking on the lies, no way to cope. Fake allies, fake cries, fake skies, fake lies. One tweet from you and your own empire dies. You try to scare us for a market swing. Now watch your whole world burn. No song to sing. Fake trader, fake president, fake king. Happy Tuesday. Nobody clapped for anything.
What did you guys think about that? I thought it hit. Honestly. I thought it hit. And no matter what you think about Trump or the war, I think that's a catchy tune. It's kind of a catchy tune. And, it's funny. Everybody's got their theories on the war or the purpose or the current status. It's all kinds of different theories out there. And, I'm looking at it. It's like, okay, let's put my own politics aside. Like remove my own self from this. It's like, okay, well, what's really going on? The question that I find asking when I'm able to just kind of remove any preconceived notions and just try to look at what's on the table and analyze it, I end up asking myself one question. And that's, does anybody know what's going on except Trump? To me, that's the only question. Clearly, nobody knows. I mean, you can talk about the media. You can talk about the American people. You can talk about Trump's administration. You can talk about Congress, D.C. Nobody seems to have a clue. And thus, the mixed messaging, the signal switching, the flip-flopping, nobody knows anything. The question is, does Trump know? That's really the only question. So again, this is like I'm removed from it. I'm just looking at this like I know nothing. I'm just looking at everything on the table like I'm seeing it for the first time. And it's just like, okay, well, this doesn't make any sense. So where do we go? Okay, well, we go to the president. He's driving this. So it's like, okay, does Trump know what he's doing? Does Trump have a plan? And then what is driving this from Trump's perspective? Is it intelligence? Is he driving this from intelligence reports from Israel? Is he driving this off of intelligence reports from his own administration and the Pentagon? Is this about something completely different? Is the whole war like a distraction and there's really something else going on? It's like a magic trick and this is the deception angle? These are the real questions and nobody knows. At the end of the day, I don't have the answer. You don't have the answer. Nobody in the media has the answer. Nobody has the answer to this except Trump. And at this point, you cannot take Trump's word at face value. You just can't. You'd be a fool to take Trump's word at face value. And that's all by design, by the way. That's all by design. So, our country is so corrupt. Our foreign policy is so corrupt that it almost overwhelms everything. And that's why you have these issues. And I think if you take away like a singular node or a singular issue or policy right now that's dividing the right wing, I think that you have to look at it from this perspective. You look at the MAGA coalition. You look at what you might loosely describe as the right wing, and it seems that the split is the split is based off the corruption and how much it overwhelms everything else. Look at the Charlie Kirk situation. And we do have a little bit of a news story on that today. It's not really a news development. It's more of there's like a new debate happening. But look at the Kirk angle. So you have people that look at the Charlie Kirk assassination and they take it at face value. And then you have people that look at the Charlie Kirk assassination and the last thing they can do is take it at face value. Now I can explain the latter stance because that's the stance that I take, which is I don't trust my government. But I think really more intellectually, you have to look at it through this perspective. The assassination of Charlie Kirk, this is a political assassination, and it's Charlie Kirk. It's an assassination of an individual who had massive influence in politics, massive influence with the youth, and a young man himself, a long future in politics. So there's a lot of heavy implications when you talk about Charlie Kirk, the man, the work, the life. And so just based off of that, I can't take it at face value. That's way too big of a story. That's way too big of an assassination to just sit here and say, okay, face value, I accept it. No way. But then there are the people on the right that say, yes, okay, face value, I take it, I accept it. And so it seems like this is where there's this constant struggle. This is where there's this constant ramming of the heads. And it's like, hey, I thought we understood that our country is so corrupt, the media is corrupt, the government's corrupt, we can't take anything at face value. And then there's the other, I guess this is where MAGA remains. It's, oh, no. Now that we won the election, now everything's good. Now everything's at face value. Now we can trust everything. Now don't ask any questions. Don't look over here. Don't do your own research and just shut up. So half the people on the right are looking at that, saying, that's weird. That's suspicious. I don't relate to that. I don't get that. And then the other side that has that mindset, they look at the people questioning it and they're saying, how dare you? How dare you? You're trying to get the killer off. You're spreading conspiracy theories. Oh, you just want to blame everything on Israel. And then ultimately it just turns into a giant infighting issue. And you can't even have a real conversation about it. And I've got the proof of that, by the way, that you can't have a real conversation about it. That's what I have in the stack today. With Seth Dillon from the Babylon Bee. And I guess you could say we got into it a little bit today on X. It wasn't like it was too intense or anything, but it's just like we can't even have a real conversation about this. So it's very strange. It's very strange to watch what is left of MAGA essentially just decide that they're not going to think for themselves anymore. I mean, that's basically what it is. You have what is left of MAGA that says, I'm not going to think for myself anymore. And then they're mad at others in the right that still think for themselves, that still think independently, that still don't trust the narrative, the mainstream, whatever it is. And we're looking at the MAGA that's left, scratching our head saying, really? You guys just take everything at face value now? Really? I'm sorry, when did the deep state go away? When did the fake news media go away? When did our government stop being corrupt? When did that end? I didn't know. Did that end? Did we declare that was over? Huh, that's strange. I don't remember any of that happening. And then they look at you and they just say, hey, you just need to shut up. You just need to shut up and trust Trump. You just need to shut up and trust the government. Oh, sorry. That's not in our formula. Can't do it. Not happening. So that seems to be the big issue. And you can talk about whether it's the war, whether it's Charlie Kirk, whether it's Epstein, it's the same issue. That's the divide on MAGA. You have whatever is left of MAGA that just wants to go along with the narrative, doesn't want to question anything. They want you to shut up and just trust Trump, trust government, trust the plan. And then there's former MAGA, independent thinkers, don't trust the government, don't know of any plan. And these are two now completely, as far as the other side is concerned, unrecognizable groups. I can't believe I'm sitting here dealing with people that believe the government at all. I can't believe I'm dealing with people that trust the government at all, that trust any mainstream thing coming out of the government, any narrative. That's totally unrecognizable to me. I don't care who the president is. It's not to say that we can't have maybe honest politicians or honest members of these federal agencies, but no, that's not my instinct. That's not my lived experience. And then they just shake their head at you. They think you're nuts because you won't join their cult. It's very odd. It's very odd, guys, I have to say. But it seems that that's the problem. So if you trust the government, well, hey, how'd that vaccine treat you? You know? Mm-hmm. Did you wear your mask too? Did you practice safe social distancing? Oh, no. Don't even say the word Biden. Don't bring Biden into this. That happened during Trump. No. Don't try that here. That all happened during Trump. Don't say Biden here. That was Trump that did all that. Did you trust that? Was that good policy? Was it good policy from Trump to shut down the economy? Wear your mask, take your vax. Was that good stuff from Trump? Did you trust that? Or maybe he got one wrong. Is that okay to say? Are you okay with that? Come on. So that seems to be the issue with this war. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And the one thing that continues to be the issue is the lines of communication as far as what's actually happening on the ground. Good luck. Good luck. It's almost impossible to nail down anything that's happening on the ground or in the strait, whatever it is, on the ground, in the water, however you want to put it. You understand. It's nearly impossible to pin anything down as far as what's actually going on in the water and on the ground. So I get back to the first question, which is, does Trump even have a plan? Does Trump even know what's going on? What is driving this? Why is this so insane? And why, as there's the new polls that are now out, and it's time to get ahead of this narrative too, why is MAGA now cool with sacrificing the midterms for the sake of this war? That's the question. And if you ask them outright, they'll reject the notion. They'll accept the facts, but they'll reject the notion. So you notice they'll accept the facts now that, oh yeah, the midterms don't look good, but the war is popular. Well, that doesn't add up. They'll accept the facts. They'll say, MAGA, Trump's getting 100% support from MAGA. And then their next post will be complaining about how all of these people are abandoning Trump. And I see it again. You'll come running back to Trump. My God. That has to be the most cucked, pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life. They'll all come running back to Trump. They'll need Trump. We don't need Trump. We never ran to Trump. He was a politician. He was a candidate. We were here before Trump. We'll be here after Trump. Can't relate. Sorry, can't relate. That's not a threat. You'll come running back to Trump. What does that mean? I'm not who? What? If that's your mindset, good luck. You're in a cult. You're a cuck. So, but that's what they say. So they accept the facts. Yeah, MAGA is broken, but then they deny it. They accept the facts that the midterms don't look good, but they don't blame it on the war. And this is all just the American people here. This isn't even about what happens in the White House. And yet, if you ask them, and we should be asking them, are you willing to sacrifice the midterms for this war? And if you really want to get specific, if you don't want to sugarcoat this, you can say it a little more specifically. You can put a little punch on it. Are you willing to sacrifice the midterms for Israel? Because that's really what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? This is all for Israel. Are you willing to sacrifice the midterms? Are you willing to give Democrats the Senate and the House for Israel? Are you willing to make that trade? Come on, let's be honest. Let's hear it. Fine, you don't want to admit that? Okay, well then we'll ask about the war. Are you willing to give the Democrats the House and the Senate for this war? Is that the price you're willing to pay for this war? Let's hear it. Let's hear the answers. Because they won't address it head on. They know that that's true. They know that's the transaction happening in the political conversation right now and the results. So let's ask it. Let's hear them say it. Will they deny it? Will they say no? How many MAGA cult members, if you asked, are you willing to sacrifice the House and the Senate? Are you willing to give the Democrats control of Congress to help Israel? How many in MAGA would say yes? They don't want to accept that notion? Fine. Then we'll ask it a little, we'll ask it like the little immature children politically that they are. Are you willing to trade control of Congress? Are you willing to give the Democrats the Senate and the House for this war with Iran? Are you willing to do that? How many in MAGA would say yes? My guess is the vast majority of MAGA would say no to both of those questions. And yet, that's the transaction that they are agreeing to. That's the transaction that they are promoting and supporting. And then they look at you like you're crazy because you don't want it, and you're warning that this will cost the midterms, and then it all turns out to be true. So maybe just write that down. Maybe just put that in your mind. I'm sure you talk politics. Maybe it comes up. Maybe you're dealing with a Trump supporter. Maybe you're on social media, whatever it is. Go ahead and jot that one down. Just go ahead. Let's ask MAGA. I want to know. I genuinely am concerned here. I want to ask MAGA outright. I want to put this on the record. I want this to be repeated. I want them to be forced to answer this question. That's what I want, and I'll get to the news after this. I want MAGA to be forced to answer this question right here, and I'll put it two ways. I'll put it in the adult real world way, and I'll put it in the immature children way. You guys can have it however you want. But I want MAGA to answer this question. I want them to be forced to answer this question. Are you willing to give Democrats the House and the Senate for Israel? Yes or no? Answer the question. Are you willing to give the Democrats the House and the Senate for this war with Iran? Yes or no? Yes or no? I want MAGA to answer that question. Answer the damn question. Answer the question, MAGA. I'm assuming they would all say no, right? And yet, that's exactly what they're doing. That is exactly what they're supporting. That is exactly what they're promoting. And that will ultimately be the results of this transaction. So I'd like to hear it from MAGA. Let's put it on the record, MAGA, because I'm not going to sit here as you guys who so callously called us panicans over a year ago. Now you're admitting we were right about everything. I want to know. I want to know if that's the transaction that you are consciously agreeing to or not. But see, it turns out that now MAGA is just dishonest and delusional, because they'll answer, no, I'm not willing to do that. But they'll deny that that's what's going on, even though that's exactly what they're doing. And then, and this is where it's going to get wild, and this is why the midterms are going to be so insane. Well, part of the reason why the midterms are going to be so insane, if and when the Democrats take the House and the Senate, they'll deny any responsibility. They'll deny it had anything to do with foreign policy. They'll deny it had anything to do with the war in Iran. They'll deny all of it, even though it's right there in front of their face. They'll deny all of it, and then they'll blame you. And then they'll blame you and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes and Owen Schroyer and the rest. No, I'm not the one that agreed to this transaction. You guys are. Don't blame me. You guys made this decision. So let's get it on record right now. I'm on record. I went on record last year when they started calling us panicans. I was one of the first on record, in fact. I was one of the first members of the media that supported Trump in 2024 for president and then came out last year and said, if we continue with these political transactions, the Democrats are going to win the midterms. And I was attacked. I was insulted. I was put on lists. I was called a panican. I was told by Trump to shut up. I was told by Trump he doesn't need me anymore. Hey, fine. That's all okay with me. That doesn't change the issue. So I'm on record. I am not willing to give the Democrats the House and the Senate for the sake of Israel. I am not willing to give the Democrats the House and the Senate for the sake of this war in Iran. But I'm not the one that wants to support Israel. I'm not the one that wants the war in Iran. So those that do, I want you on record. If you are a Trump supporter, if you are a Republican voter, I want you on record right now. Are you willing to trade the midterms for Israel? Are you willing to trade the midterms for the war in Iran? I want to hear it right now. Force them to go on record. Force them to own this. If we want to take back the Republican Party from these neocons, again, if we want to take back the Republican Party from the foreign and special interests, then it starts now. It doesn't start with whatever happens in the midterms. It starts now. And if they don't agree with us, then they lose the midterms and we reform the Republican Party with a little more knowledge, a little more experience, or the Republican Party just dies, quite frankly, or the Republican Party just dies. So there's where it is. There's my opening monologue. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Have you guys noticed the lighting is a little different in the studio today? Do you guys notice this? What do you guys think about that? I decided yesterday that I almost actually said, I'm just going to go like totally lights off because I'm so sick. I hate TV studios. I hate the lighting. You guys have to understand these lights, they just burn your eyes for 3+ hours a day. I just couldn't take it. So I was thinking about going full lights off. I was thinking about just doing total dark mode and just having the backlight. So we got a little dim lighting. I think we're going to stick with this for now until we do a massive studio change, like a massive studio update or something. I think we're going to stick with the low lighting. It's just so much nicer on the eyes, just sitting there with the bulbs burning through my corneas and retinas and everything else. I just can't do it. So, what do you guys think about that? We could go even darker. We could go darker if we wanted. My only concern is, as the looks-maxing mogger that I am, my only concern is that you won't be able to properly see the flowing hair, the bright blue eyes, and soon to be my golden Texas tan. It's my only concern, really, with the lighting. But I'm being a little facetious here. All right. We do have Roger Stone coming up in the third hour. Mostly, this is going to be, well, let's just say Roger has been dunking on Laura Loomer for the last 48 hours. And I said, Roger, let's tag team that deal. Let's alley-oop each other for some dunks on that freak. My God. Hey guys, what's your political policy? Whatever Trump tells me. Sounds great. Good stuff. Hey, speaking about the stock market, did you guys see this on CNBC? I mean, this is like, look, it's live TV. Sometimes you get caught in an awkward moment. It does happen. And you might not fully appreciate the context of what you just said in that moment because you got to fill airtime, right? So this happened on CNBC. I mean, it's like, though, this is kind of how it works, though, isn't it? Listen to this yesterday.
Yeah. Deadline that President Trump has set, 8 p.m., has threatened to destroy a civilization. How does an investor process that? Is it a bigger upside risk or downside risk? Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. So there's a threat of nuclear war on the horizon. How does that impact your stock portfolio? My God. My God. And yet, that's like the whole thing, isn't it? That's the whole thing. Markets are mostly neutral today, some up, some down. Oil went up a little bit. The whole thing is just crazy. I don't know if anyone has a plan. I don't know if anybody knows. I don't know if anybody has a plan. We're all just kind of sitting here. We're not getting what we voted for, though, at the end of the day. Whatever is going on in Iran, whatever is going on with this war, whoever has a plan, whoever is in control, if any such thing exists, we're still not getting what we voted for. And, you know, bless Melania's heart. Bless Melania's heart. And I was a little kind of put off. I have to tell you, when I saw that Melania was doing this Epstein speech today in an attempt to clear her name, I was a little put off. I have to be honest. I was like, it's kind of insulting in a way. It's a little insulting here when the president says it's a hoax. They basically run a massive cover-up. They're breaking the law, covering it up, and then with the files we get, you know, we see these sordid details that it's like unexplainable, the potential evil here. And then it's going to be, oh, here's Melania trying to clear her name. It was a little. I was not thrilled when she approached the podium and started speaking, but then. And I give her credit and bless her heart for it. Then she says, well, we need to have congressional hearings. So I'm skipping ahead a little bit in the stack here, but we'll just cover it. Melania Trump blasts lies linking her to Epstein and calls on Congress to hold hearing for victims. Quite frankly, I'm not too concerned about the Melania Trump angle and Epstein. I mean, there's something there. It could be deep. It could be shallow. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously something there. But that's not really as much of my concern as much as it is about Trump, as much as it is about who is Epstein working for or working with. And then, you know, how did the influence exist? Where was the money coming from? You know, the basics that we get no answers to. The victims, the jerky, the pizza, everything. So, but she says she wants Congress to have a hearing. She wants the victims to be able to speak to Congress and have a public hearing about this. So you know what? Good. I say good. So even though I was a little, when I saw it, I was like, oh boy, what is this? Another Epstein cover-up from the White House? But then she came through in the end and said, let's get the victims to testify. So that was a good end result, I would say. That was a good end result. And I guess it's day 2. We didn't hear from Trump today either. So day 2, no hearing from Trump. But we do hear from Melania. It's more than Trump has ever suggested, by the way. Trump said it was a hoax. So it's obviously not a hoax, right? Are we accepting that? But Trump has now endorsed another amnesty Republican, Congressman Mike Lawler. Well, what do Representatives Lawler and Salazar have in common? Well, they both support amnesty. No, try again. What do Congressman Lawler and Salazar have in common? Oh, big pro-Israel. That's right. Big AIPAC, big pro-Israel. That's the one. So they're pro-amnesty now too. Who cares? As long as you support Israel, that's all that really matters now. That's all that matters in this administration. That's all that matters in the Republican Party. So you can be, hell, there'll be a point where there'll be open borders. The Republican Party, you can be open borders now. You can be pro-LGBTQ plus. You can support trans. All of that is okay now in the current Republican status. The only place where we draw a hard line is you got to support Israel. That's the only place we draw a hard line. Oh, yeah, you want to amnesty a bunch of illegal aliens? No problem at all. But do you support Israel? Of course, boss. Then you're good. We're good. Whatever you need, just as long as you support Israel. So another amnesty Republican promoted by Trump. That's nice. That's good. You know, it's nice to just not feel like you've been totally sold out. Republicans block effort to halt Trump's war with Iran over civilization threat. House Democrats tried to force a vote on a war powers resolution during recess. Senate Democrats will launch a more serious attempt to rein in Trump next week. House Democrats unsuccessfully attempted to pass a resolution to halt Trump's war with Iran today. So there's this legal debate, a legal theory debate of, is Trump in violation of the Constitution with this war in Iran? What are the presidential war powers? Where does Congress come into play? So there's kind of this debate. It's not a very serious debate, honestly. It's not a very serious debate, and there's the same issue in Congress, which is both sides of the aisle are controlled by the Israeli lobby. So they're not really going to do anything serious to stop Trump from engaging in this war on behalf of Israel, even though I think there is a serious issue there. I think there is a serious debate. I think there is a serious issue. Some people might say, no, Trump is okay. He's in the clear. Others are going to argue against that vehemently and say, no, this is a total violation of the Constitution. And I think that Trump, I mean, how can you ignore the fact that Trump essentially recognized this when he comes out on his own and says, well, we don't call it a war because that might be illegal. We can't call it a war. So it's not a war. It's a military operation. So you're basically just admitting you're lying. You're basically just admitting you're washing this so that you can get away with something that's illegal. It's basically what he does. So, let's go to Congress. Let's see if Congress will let Trump engage in this war on behalf of Israel. Congress says, yeah, Trump can do that. Well, Congress is also controlled by Israel. So is anybody surprised? No. Well, what about the taxes? At least, can we get a tax break? No, unfortunately. Despite any refunds, you're probably paying more taxes under Trump while the richest pay less. President Trump has raised taxes on most Americans in ways that more than offset the tax cuts he has signed into law. The net effect of this year of all his tax policies is to increase taxes on the average American in all income groups aside from the richest 5%. And it gets into all of this in the breakdown here. And so really the conclusion is the cost of living has not gone down and you're not getting tax cuts. That's the gist of it here. The cost of living has gone up and you have not gotten a tax cut. It just simply has not happened. And the people that are getting, if there is such a tax cut, obviously, tax cuts for the rich, which I'm not opposed to, by the way. I'm okay with it. I want tax cuts for everybody, including the rich. I don't mind that. And I'd like to see the corporate taxes go down drastically. So I'm not even complaining about the rich paying less taxes. But clearly this tax bill, clearly it's the Trump donor class that is influencing this to get the most out of it. So two things can be true. They're rigging the tax system under Trump to benefit the donor class, and you're paying more in taxes. But it can also be, I don't mind cutting tax. I don't care if it's for the rich or for the poor. But ultimately, you're not doing any better economically, is the story. You're actually doing worse. And by their numbers, they kind of put it at like a 5%. It's like the cost of living has gone up overall, all things considered. The cost of living has gone up about 5% since Trump got into office. But hey, we got to do this war, guys, you know? We just didn't have a choice, right? Just no choice. All right. Well, since we're talking about this, let's just go to the tape. Let's just go to the tape. And I can play these videos forever. But I want to just go to the people expressing how they're feeling about all of this as the economic situation in America is not getting any better.
I'm going to say something that may piss some of y'all off. It may be a hot take, but why is every home $1 million? Or if it's not $1 million, it's $500,000. Why? I'm so sorry. I hate to break it to some of y'all, but some of these homes are not worth $500,000 to $1 million. They're basic homes with a roof and walls and a little backyard. And here's the thing. I'm not looking for much. You know, I'm looking for a driveway, a backyard, some land would be nice. I love a garden. But right now, I cannot fathom ever owning a home. I cannot fathom ever not living in an apartment. I became an adult in 2020, and honestly, it feels like one of the worst timelines to ever be dropped into this shit because everything is so expensive, and I hate that word, but everything is so expensive. My car, it used to take $25 to fill it up. I drive a 2015 Honda Fit, and now it takes nearly $45 to $50. And listen, I understand the state of the economy is down the shitter right now, if it's ever been. But something's got to give.
All right, I could do these videos for day. I got a couple more lined up. We've got some breaking news. I'm just getting blown up right now. Trump just posted a lecture. He just posted a freaking essay attacking Alex Jones. Dude, this is crazy. This is nuts. I don't even, it's like, so the question was to open the show. The question was, you know, is Trump sound of mind? Does he really have a plan? Is he really in control, or has he completely lost his mind? I feel like this post is the proof that he's just lost his mind. He's just gone, folks. He's just gone. Maybe it's worse than we thought, actually. Do you guys want to see this? I can't even believe this. So Trump just posted this. Unbelievable. First of all, look at how long this thing is. What are we doing, dude? Trump's out of his damn mind. He's out of his mind, folks. He's gone. He's gone. So here's Trump moments ago. I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years. Dude, all of them supported you for years. Have you lost your mind? Loomer is happy. She's celebrating. Maybe she even wrote this, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. None of them have expressed that. So that's just a lie. But they have one thing in common, low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. And everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they're going to get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts. By the way, third-rate podcasts, every single one of them is a top broadcaster in the world. I don't care what you think about Carlson, Kelly, Owens, or Alex Jones. I don't really care. The fact is they're bigger than everyone else in the media and quite literally have the top podcast on the platforms where they're even allowed. I mean, Alex has the top show. He's like the most banned man in the world. So this is just crazy. This is just total lies from President Trump. This is unreal. This is a weak man. This is exposing how weak Trump is. This is exposing that Trump is gone, folks. This is it. To me, there's no longer any debate. Trump is gone. The debate is over. Trump is gone, folks. Whatever percentage of hope I had, whatever percentage of, maybe there's something happening that will turn all of this around, whatever percentage of hope I had that Trump is focused and has a plan to get things done and this is all part of it, it's all gone now. It's over now. This is out of control. What are you doing? This is Epstein is a hoax 2.0. This is I don't want your vote 2.0. What an idiot. What an idiot, Trump. You want to say that they're low IQ? You just attacked 4 of the biggest names in right-wing politics. You just attacked 4 of the most recognizable names and faces in the right-wing media sphere. You're cooked. You have the low IQ. This is insane. Nobody's talking about them and their views are opposite of MAGA. What? Tell me one view any of them have that's opposite of MAGA. You can't. Trump is the one that's not MAGA. Trump is the one that started new wars. Trump is the one promoting amnesty. Trump is the one not doing deportations. Trump is the one calling the Epstein files a hoax. Trump is the one working for the donor class. Trump is the one who's not MAGA. Oh, I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. Yeah, because you had all of their support. You don't even win in 2016 if it wasn't for InfoWars. Let's just cut it dry. I mean, let's just slice this thing and put it on the table. If it's not for InfoWars, I'm not sure Donald Trump even wins the Republican primary. That's unreal. MAGA agrees with me. Yeah, your cult agrees with you. And all the people you just mentioned, formerly MAGA, so, okay. And now he's quoting CNN. CNN gives 100% approval rating of Trump for MAGA. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So this is crazy, folks. Look, we have to be honest, guys. We have to be honest about this. Trump is gone. He's gone. I don't know if it's dementia. I don't know if it's corruption. I don't know if he's blown his engine from just trying to do too much. I mean, folks, this is retard stuff. There's no other way to put it. So here he is admitting Carlson supported Trump, Kelly supported Trump, Owen supported Trump, Jones supported Trump. All 4 of them are MAGA. All 4 of the people he's attacking here all supported Trump before most others, by the way. They are literally MAGA. And now he's saying, I have 100% support from MAGA, even though I'm admitting that all of these people are no longer MAGA that were originally MAGA. Well, Mr. President, that means you don't have 100%. So here you are contradicting yourself in your own post. Who is writing this? Who is approving this? This thing is just this thing is so bad, man. This thing is so bad. Says Tucker Carlson couldn't finish college. What the hell does that have to do with anything? A broken man when he got fired from Fox? He was fired for Fox because he was standing up for the stolen election. You buffoon. You orange-faced, caked-on makeup buffoon. Trump is a damn buffoon. I am just, this is unreal. This is what Trump does. Trump is a monster, man. This guy is a monster. You're going to kick the people that did more for you than anyone else? And you're going to go suck off Mark Levin? You're going to go suck off Ben Shapiro? Who, if they were in charge, you'd never even be in office? You would have never won an election? And then the people that actually helped you win an election, you're going to attack them? You're going to make fun of Tucker Carlson for losing his job at Fox News? He lost his job for supporting you. Tucker Carlson lost his job for calling out the stolen election, which you've backed down on. You suck. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. Of course, the InfoWars crew is reaching out to me. Alex is apparently recording a video on this right now. This is unreal. This is just unreal. I don't even think I can finish this. Let's see what he goes after Alex for. Oh my gosh. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. Oh my God. This guy's totally cucked. Trump is totally cucked. Alex, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I can. Alex, I might send Alex a message. I haven't talked to Alex since the separation. I might send Alex a message and say, Alex, did Donald Trump, did he suck Bill Clinton? Did he do it, Alex? Did Donald Trump suck Bill Clinton? This is crazy, man. I cannot believe. What is Trump thinking? What is he thinking? He's already hemorrhaging support, and now you're going to come against the people that might be able to help you win it back? He's nuts. He's lost his mind, folks. He's lost his mind. He thinks Brigitte Macron is better looking than Candace Owens. Okay, all right. Then he says, bankrupt Alex Jones. Again, Alex Jones is bankrupt because he supported you. They went after Alex Jones because he helped you win an election. This is unbelievable betrayal. Donald Trump is a piece of shit. He is an absolute traitor piece of shit. I am furious now. I'm sorry, folks. I shouldn't even be doing this on air. I am so disgusted by this man. Disgusted. You're going to attack Tucker Carlson, who lost his job for standing up for you having an election stolen. You're a piece of shit. You're going to attack Alex Jones, who had his entire life destroyed. They're trying to take everything he owns, everything he built, because he supported you, because his organization, InfoWars, helped you win a primary and an election that I'm not sure you could have won without them. And you're going to attack him and say, oh, he's bankrupt. He's bankrupt for supporting you. So I guess that's the big joke then. I guess the big joke is that we're idiots forever supporting you. I guess that's the joke, isn't it? So take note, MAGA. MAGA, it's time to learn a lesson here. Take note. If you support Donald Trump, he thinks you're an idiot for supporting him. And now he's right. So Trump is right about one thing. If you still support Donald Trump, you're an idiot. If you still support Donald Trump, you're a low IQ idiot. So there you go. There's Trump's admission. If you're willing to throw your life away or throw your job away like Tucker Carlson or Alex Jones in support of Donald Trump, he will turn around and throw you under the bus and laugh while doing it. This is a point of no return for me. Bankrupt Alex Jones. Unbelievable. So there you go, Alex. There you go. Now you know. They were never going to help you, Alex. Donald Trump was never going to help you. He used you. This is not even me attacking Alex. I'm so on Alex's side. This is unbelievable. But there it is. I mean, for Alex, it's like, there it is, Alex. They were never going to help you. They were never going to help you, Alex. Wow. Alex Jones lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attacks on the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims. Unbelievable. Claiming it was a hoax like you did with the Epstein files, huh? Wow. I got to take a break. I can't. This is beyond awful. How does he do it? You know what? I got to give Trump credit for one thing, guys. I got to give Trump credit for one thing. He always finds a way to outdo himself. You always think that you always think this is the lowest that Trump can go. You always think this is the lowest Trump is going to get. It's never going to get any worse than this. And then he always finds a way to outdo himself. I cannot believe this. Honestly, we gotta take a break. I don't know what to do with this now. This is too heavy. This is too heavy. This is the biggest act of betrayal that I've ever seen from Trump. this is the biggest insult I've seen from Trump. I don't know. There's no reasoning with this. There's no reasoning with this. It shows he's gone. It shows he's cooked. This is him shitting in the face of his supporters. This is him making fun of MAGA, by the way. MAGA, you still support this guy? He'll throw you under the bus tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is outrageous. Wow. Hey, I don't care. Have at it. You guys, hey, have at it. Make fun of me for supporting Trump. I'm fine with that. I am totally fine with that. Make fun of me for supporting Trump. Say I voted for this clown. That's fine. I can't deny that. I own it. That's why this is even worse. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's take a short break.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
Navigating between the sane and insane, it's the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
All right. I'm a creature of habit. We all are. I've learned something from my time in the media, and it's different now. And this is where I'm kind of growing a little bit, you might say. Over time, throughout my years at InfoWars and now independently, and it was one thing I learned it a while ago. It's like sometimes it's better to just not be on air and just give it a breath or two. And that's definitely a situation now. And since, I run my own show, I'm not obligated to be on air. Because I'm trying to think of how to properly respond to this. And I mean, I can get back into the news and cover things, but this is just going to be a mental hurdle now. It's just going to be like a mental obstacle. I will tell you, I sent Alex Jones a message in that break. First time I've sent Alex a message since Memorial Day breakup last year. And I said, Alex, I'm with you 100%. Fuck him. So I'd say now I don't know. We'll let Alex record his video. He's recording a video right now. But no, I want to stand up for Alex Jones. And obviously, it's no secret the fallout with me and Alex. I don't even care about that. It's not even about me. It's about the reality. It's about the truth. It's about the country. It's about what a disaster Donald Trump has become. So I don't know if Alex is going to want to do a collab or anything like that. I'll leave that up to him. I'd go back into InfoWars Studios to cover this. Now, I don't know when I would even be able to do that. I've already got a full day scheduled with interviews and stuff tomorrow. I don't know. I could try to make it all work. Maybe we just wait till next week if that's something he's interested in. I am floored. I was there. I was part of it. I watched InfoWars get Donald Trump over the finish line. And I watched them destroy InfoWars and Alex Jones as punishment for that. And as the deep state and the globalists and the Democrats are shoveling the dirt on InfoWars and Alex Jones, here comes Donald Trump with a dumpster full of dirt to make sure that Alex can't get out of the grave. Fuck you. You absolute traitor. You caked on, makeup wearing, self-obsessed, narcissistic, egomaniac, genocidal, Epstein supporter, traitor. See, but this is why I shouldn't be on air, because I'm just too driven by my response to this. And it's really like, who cares what I have to say in response to it? Maybe it's entertaining for you. Really doesn't matter to me. The real question is, what do we do in response? That's the real question. Honestly, that's the only question, is what do we do in response to this? Because now I'm inclined now to just say, yeah, get this guy impeached. Get him out. It's like, why would Trump go to war with us? So it's like, what are we doing? It's like, what? Trump wants war with us? Trump wants a fight with us? So it's like, what do? Do you engage with that? Do you give Trump the fight? You say, okay, fine, Trump, you want to bang heads with us? Let's go. I don't give a damn that you're the president. Like, really? That's what you want? You want us now? You want to fight with us? You want to fight with your most loyal supporters? You want to fight with the people that put everything on the line for you? Are you kidding me? So I'm like, is that what we do? Do we just ignore this? Do we back off? Do we just let him crash out? Do we let nature take its course? Obviously, we're in the response mechanism to all of this right now. But it's just like, oh my God, it's worse. It's worse than ever. What do they got on you, Trump? What do they got on you, Trump? What are you on tape doing? What do they got on you? What is it? Because this is, folks, I mean, come on. Let's just stop it. Trump is beyond the pale at this point. He's beyond the pale now. There's no rationality as far as we're concerned with Trump now. There's none. There's none. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of that post? Tell me why. Tell me why Trump decided to post that today and attack those individuals specifically. Whose idea was it? Was it Trump's idea? Did somebody else put him up to that? Why is Trump even thinking about Megyn Kelly? Why is Trump even thinking about Candace Owens? Why is Trump even thinking about Tucker Carlson? Why is Trump even thinking about Alex Jones? That's a question. Why is Trump even thinking about those individuals? Did somebody put Trump up to this? Is somebody in this behind the scenes manipulating Trump to hate those individuals? Did somebody put together some compilation and show Trump so that he attacks them today? What is going on? Who's behind this? And you know, hey, let's just go ahead. We're having the conversation. Who put him up to this? Was it Israel? Was it Laura Loomer? Was it Netanyahu? Who put him up to this? So what am I to believe? Oh, Donald Trump is watching Megyn Kelly's show? Donald Trump is watching Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson? Donald Trump is watching the Alex Jones show? Is that what I believe? How does Alex even know what how does Trump even know what they're talking about? How does Trump even know that he needs to attack these individuals today? How does he even know that? Why does the president have some sort of intelligence on what Carlson and Kelly and Owens and Jones are saying? Who put him up to this? Somebody put Trump up to this. Somebody made Trump do this. Now, the only one that's celebrating so far is Laura Loomer. So I don't know. Maybe she's a candidate. This is unbelievable, man. This is unbelievable. Daily Wire is celebrating. Daily Wire is celebrating. Laura Loomer is celebrating. Let's see who else is celebrating this. Wow. Mike Cernovich just posted. If Alex Jones hadn't been critical to Trump's 2016 win, Alex would not have been sued into oblivion. Alex lost everything business-wise. His channel's taken down, lawfare. People who don't know anything are going to try to tell me things. Go be goober somewhere else. Cernovich gets it. He was there. He saw it. Folks, this is crazy. I cannot believe. I cannot believe what Trump is doing. I cannot believe what Trump has decided to turn this administration into. It's beyond outrageous. I don't even think I can really cover news because of this now. I'm just scrolling X to see who's celebrating this. The only two outlets I've seen celebrating are Loomer and the Daily Wire. That's it. Those are the only two people. And Mark Levin. And it's funny because, I did that defense of Alex. Was that this week or last? Got posted by some accounts on X. Owen Schroyer defends Alex Jones. And I was even thinking about doing just a standalone video because they were attacking Alex. It's not even personal to me. I will say after this Trump post, it's a little personal to me. It wasn't personal before. It was more a defense of the truth than anything else. It's personal to me now. This is personal to me now. And it's not just personal in the sense of, my connection and relationship to Alex or everything that I went through with Alex for supporting Trump. It's not just that. I mean, that's obviously a factor, but it's not just that. No, it's personal to me now because I'm not going to sit here and let Donald Trump fool anyone else. I'm not going to sit here and let Donald Trump bully and lie and fool any more Americans. It has to stop. This is it for me. I care about my country. I care about my countrymen. I don't care if they're left, if they're right, if they're independent, if they're whatever. I don't care. Now it's more than just me. It's the country. This fool is going to destroy our country, folks. He's going to destroy everything. And I take that personally. What is he doing? Like, what is this guy doing? Honestly, I cannot make any sense of this. The only explanation that I can make any sense of is he's totally controlled by somebody else, by some other interest, and they're forcing him to do this. And or he's gone, folks. He's lost his mind. He's just gone. Connection to reality, connection to patriotism, connection to the agenda, it's all gone. It's all gone. I can't make any sense. This is so now it's just, what is Trump going to do next? What is going to be the next low for Donald Trump? What is going to be the next low for Trump? Seriously, what is he going to do? Is he going to open the borders? Honestly, place your bets. Is Trump going to open the borders? Is Trump going to arrest Tucker Carlson? I bet they start arresting journalists. I always predicted that would be the case. I always predicted that this administration would end up arresting people for speech. But now it's like it just went from a possibility to a probability. I mean, folks, if Trump is willing to post something like that as the president of the United States, he's either not in control of himself or because he's controlled by someone else, or he's lost his mind. But folks, think about it like this. If somebody has so much influence and control over Trump that they can get him to post something like that, they can get Trump to put whoever they want in prison. This is no different than the Obama years, folks. Trump is just right-wing Obama. That's all it is. Trump is right-wing Obama. Trump is right-wing Biden. At this pace, Trump will end up arresting anybody, and it might not even be up to him, whoever runs him. If he's willing to put those individuals on blast like that, he's willing to put them in prison. He will support putting them in prison. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to understand all of this directionally. You have to understand all of this conceptually. This isn't about Trump just posting and attacking a bunch of people. This is where the energy is. This is where the attitude is. This administration at this trajectory will end up putting Americans in prison for speech. Absolutely. And it might not even be up to Trump. It could be because whoever controls him is doing this. I'm just stunned. I'm just stunned at how low Donald Trump has gone today. Unbelievable. So let's do this. Because that's a slobber knocker right there that we just got hit with. So I'm still processing this. But let's go back a year. Let's go back a year. And I guess I really shouldn't be stunned because I predicted this. I predicted all of this exactly a year ago. This is me in the InfoWars studios, June 17th last year. I really shouldn't be shocked at all because I predicted this would happen. Here it is. We're really at a certain point right now where if we can keep it intact and keep it going forward and focus on the things that actually make America great again and put America first, then we can politically drag the country out of the muck and have a vision and a realization of what make America great again actually means. But now here comes Israel. And now this issue of Israel and Iran getting into a war is on the brink of fracturing the MAGA movement. There is no doubt about it. And if Trump gets involved, if Trump gets the U.S. military involved in Iran, which, look, people are asking me all weekend, I say it like this. My heart tells me no. People ask me, Owen, do you think we're going to a war with Iran? My heart tells me no. My heart tells me no. My heart tells me Donald Trump isn't going to do this to us. My heart is saying, nope, it's not going to happen. Israel will have to fight this on their own. And then my head tells me, your heart's crazy. We're going to war with Iran. So my heart says, no, America won't be involved. My head says, yes, America's getting involved in a war with Iran. And that's likely just because my head is processing the history and how it's repeating itself and seeing how Trump is being influenced right now. And then, of course, my heart, which, we've sacrificed a lot to support Trump. This is one of the biggest promises, not getting us involved in another war. So maybe that's just my heart, maybe in denial. We shall see. But here's what's going to happen. If the United States of America does end up in a war with Iran, which you could argue is already happening, subsidize Israel, and they control our Congress with AIPAC. So really, that's the issue here, is that because we're attached at the hip geopolitically to Israel, anything they do is basically us. And that's how the world sees it. So when you see this propaganda from Netanyahu, which has been the same propaganda for 30 years, which is why it's so crazy that some people still fall for it, or maybe there's something else going on with said people, but it's been the same propaganda for 30 years. But when you see Netanyahu say, oh, they consider Israel little Satan, America big Satan, well, yeah, that's because if it wasn't for America backing Israel, would it even exist? I don't know. You have all these different countries in that region that aren't very favorable of Israel, or it's probably more accurately stated, they're not in favor of Israeli government right now. They're not in favor of Netanyahu right now and the Likud party right now. That might be more fair to say. It might be more fair to say it's just Israel in general. And then, of course, you have the aspect of the hatred between Jews and Muslims, but I don't think that's what's at stake here. I don't think that's what's really going on here. Israel has been using and abusing the United States taxpayer and government for years, and so that's why they call America the big Satan. It's not because of anything we do on our own accord. It's not because the American people are doing anything. It's because of what Israel does, and then whenever it's time for Israel to face the music, here comes the United States of America to turn off the speakers. So yes, all the disasters in the Middle East with our blood and treasure, tens of thousands of Americans dead, trillions of dollars over there, has been a disaster. This has mostly been influenced due to Benjamin Netanyahu's and Israeli intelligence's propaganda to get us into the war. Think about Iraq and weapons of mass destruction and Saddam Hussein. Now flip like it's a Mad Lib, 3 words, and it's now Iran, and it's now nuclear weapons, and it's now the Ayatollah. It's now the leaders of Iran. So it's the exact same script. Exact same. And what's even crazier about it is that Trump knows this. That's what was one of the biggest figures, really since the 90s, but post 9/11, talking about the Bush wars. He was one of the biggest critics. He's called Netanyahu a liar. I've got all the clips. We'll play them. That's what makes this whole thing so strange and why people are scratching their head and saying, well, what happened to Trump? I'm not going to make this about Trump, except I will say this. And this is why it's such an important issue politically for our time, considering everything the MAGA movement has done and all the ground we've gained in the last 10 years. So forget about the motives from President Trump. Forget about that part of the conversation. If Trump gets us into a war in Iran, the MAGA base will split. The populist movement, the MAGA base will split. It will be fractured. It's very likely the Republicans will lose the House, probably the general in 2028. And what you're going to see is the entire political alignment, mostly from a media standpoint, which does happen every election cycle, but it's going to be hyperspeed now. The entire political media landscape will be reshuffled and reorganized, and we will go back 25 years to the Bush years. Well, I guess you could say I pretty much nailed that. I guess you could say that's pretty much batting 1,000 on that deal from last year. I just was scrolling through X, seeing how this is being interpreted. I see Graham Allen, Mark Levin, Laura Loomer, and the Daily Wire celebrating it. Everyone else is looking at this and saying Trump's lost his mind. By the way, MS Now is reporting that they had a phone call with Melania and Trump. So they had a phone call with Melania, and then they had a phone call with Donald Trump. And apparently Melania did not tell Donald Trump that she was going to make that announcement and she was going to do that press conference today. Apparently Trump didn't even know. That's interesting, to say the least. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. So what? So what are we going to do? We're going to go to war for Israel. We're going to sacrifice more blood and treasure for Israel, and we're going to arrest the journalists that don't support it. Is that the plan here? Is that the agenda here? Is that where we're going? And then America will basically just go broke. The American people are just going to go broke. They're not going to have any cash. The only people that are making money are the ones that are in on the giant insider trading scam that is the Trump administration. So they're going to make all the money. Everyone else is going to suffer. You're going to be taxed into oblivion. Your entire country will be sacrificed at the altar of Israel, I guess because they have blackmail on Trump. I don't know. Or maybe that's just who Trump is now. And then the journalists and the talk show hosts that stand up against this and call this out, they're all going to jail. So is that where we're at now, guys? Is that the Trump administration now, guys? Seems to be. Am I going to be playing this clip in a year from now as the arrests are being made and the bombs are being dropped, saying, there it is, called it again? Is that where we're at? Seems to be. Seems to be the case. I don't even know what to do, guys. I got all of this news. I feel like I really can't even cover it. This is just nuts, man. Because here's the problem. Everything has to be reevaluated now. Everything has to be reevaluated now. This is the point of no return. There's no longer a debate. This is the final act of betrayal. This is the confirmation. And so now everything has to be re-strategized. Everything has to be re-strategized now. Like, here's an example. And I'm not saying I'm going to do this, but I'm telling you how I'm processing this so you understand. I would say now the risk of doing what I do, the risk of going to jail for doing what I do has just gone up about 50%, maybe 100%. I'd say the odds of members of the media that are anti-Trump going to jail for speech just doubled after that. I'd say they just doubled. And when you take into consideration, it's the Laura Loomers, it's the Mark Levins, they're calling for Tucker Carlson to go to jail. They're calling us foreign agents. They're calling us traitors. They want us to go to jail for life. And these are the people that now run the administration. These are the people that are now influencing Trump. So now you have to consider. Now, for me, I've never shut up. I've never backed down. And I've been put in prison for my speech. So I've already been there. But this is like now is, and I promise you, Carlson is having this. Carlson is thinking about this. Candace Owens is thinking about this. I'm sure Alex Jones is thinking about this. I don't know about Megyn Kelly. I really don't know. That's kind of a who knows. She'll probably go scorched earth is my guess, but I can't say that for sure. She's kind of unpredictable. Man, what do we do, guys? What do we do? We saw how bad it got in Biden. All right. We saw that. We know how bad Biden was. Now we have to ask, is Trump going to be worse? Because this is now getting to a point of it's worse than Biden. And it's really just about how do we mitigate this disaster now? How do we mitigate the damage that Trump is about to do to this country? So everything changes. That again, like I said, that's the Trump just put the stake in the ground. Or maybe the stake was already kind of in the ground. Trump just nailed that stake all the way down and said, no, this is it. This is the deal. All the people that supported me and got me in office, F you, screw you. You better shut up or you're going to jail. I'm run by Laura Loomer now. I'm run by Mark Levin now. I'm run by Ben Shapiro now. And then whatever it is, I work for Israel. I don't work for you. I mean, that's a gut punch today, guys. I got to tell you. That is a gut punch today. And I don't know how to interpret it other than this administration is well on its way to being worse than Biden. because there seems to be no brakes. There seems to be no brakes on this train that's totally gone off the rails, guys. No brakes. So I just can't even, I don't know if I can even look at the news right now, to be honest. Yeah, everybody's telling me. I know I'm rambling, guys. I know. Let's just take calls. Let's just take calls on this. Let's get a response to this. I told you I reached out to Alex. I guess I could reach out to Rex. Send Rex a text. I just can't. It's like we already knew it, you know? We already knew it, but now it's just, he wants us to know it. Trump wants us to know he's not with us. Trump wants us to know he's betrayed us. He wants us to know. That's what that message is. That's the message today. Hey, if you have any doubt, I'm not with you. I'm against you now. I'm against America first. I'm against MAGA. I'm against America now. That's my interpretation. Hey, Laura Loomer runs the show now. Holy smokes. We have a literal psychotic person. We have a literal diagnosable psychotic person. I'm going to get Rex Jones on. Let me get him this link. So let's do this. Rex will be joining me shortly. DMT is in the digital studio. He's welcome to chime in. I've hit a roadblock. I can't go back into the news. I'm so perturbed and distraught over the message that Trump just sent. Forget about what was actually said. Forget about the actual text of the post. It's what the message was. The message was a big, fat middle finger to all of the people that fought the hardest for Trump. That's it. You fight for Trump, you sacrifice and lose everything for Trump. He says F you and throws you under the bus. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Just stunned. Just stunned. Oh, you know what? Rex is with us, so we'll take calls later in response. I've got Rex on now.
Hey, man. Can you hear me?
So,
you good?
Yeah, we got you live, loud and clear. Rex, I reached out to your dad for the first time since Memorial Day about an hour ago. I said, I'm with you 100%. Fuck him. I know he's in studio recording some stuff right now. I've just abandoned my entire stack of news today because I'm just so, and it's not even about what was in the post. You know, I read the post on air. It's really not even about what was in the post. The message here to me is, I will throw every single one of you under the bus. If you sacrifice everything for me, I will throw you under the bus and I won't even blink. And I feel like the long-term trajectory of this now, I was already concerned that we were going to see speech arrests under Trump. I was already concerned of that. Now I'm almost assured of it. Now, yes. I almost feel like it's a guarantee Trump's going to be arresting people for speech.
Well, that's what's so terrifying about it. And I mean, if you look at my dad, like I know you guys have had disagreements, and I know my dad was very, very pro-Trump for, you know, honestly too long, in my opinion. I understand differences and whatnot. We don't have to talk about the network, but my dad was a soldier for Trump. Like nobody has ever gone to bat for Donald Trump the way my father did. And to see what Trump has come out, the disgusting things he said, and just everybody in that group is literally the core base of people, I'd say, besides Candace Owens, but literally the core base of what I'd say MAGA is represented in conservative media on various platforms, to come out like, I don't even know what to call it. It's not even neocon. It's not even Hillbot. It's just
It's just middle
uniparty
finger.
hive mind.
It's
He's
just total
everything
middle
we've ever fought against, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's just total middle finger to everything we stood for. It's just he's burned it all to the ground. Trump is against MAGA. There is no MAGA.
He's laughing about it. He's laughing about it too. And I mean, just the stuff about the bankruptcy, man. I mean, here's the thing. We were very sympathetic to Trump because of the lawfare that we both went through. Both Free Speech Systems, the InfoWars company, and Donald Trump were both at the receiving end of evil action from the DOJ. The DOJ expends tens of millions of dollars in legal work as charity case stuff. It's like they could pay off penalties by suing us. And Trump doesn't care about that at all. He doesn't consider that at all. He just laughs about the bankruptcy. It reminds me of the iconic thing that made me stop supporting Trump in the first place, just one of the many factors, when he said, as long as I'm on Twitter, it's okay. He doesn't have any principles at all. It's disgusting. And my heart breaks for my father and just this entire situation. I don't want to be self-centered. People are dying overseas, and that's the real issue, is the war. But I mean, this is really like the dog that waits for master to come home for 7 years, and master comes home and like kicks the dog's head in. That's what this is. That's how I see this.
Well, look, like I said, I've abandoned the news stack today, and it's not even that because the news isn't important. There's some pretty important news actually today, including an American arrested. They're not going to go after the Israeli journalist that leaked, but they're going to go after the American journalist that leaked. So there's actually real news today. No, it's totally fair to just live in this moment and do the response to this post, because it has serious implications. And so let me ask you, I've already kind of done my coverage. I've already done my response. It's been very raw, but let me just ask you, what is your interpretation of all of it? Like, what do you think is behind it? Who do you think is behind it? What does this do to the trajectory of the Trump administration, the trajectory to MAGA, or whatever we want to call it? How do you kind of perceive things going from here? Because to me, this is another mile marker. This is like,
sure. It's a watershed moment.
100%. This is like when Trump said the Epstein files is a hoax. This is like
you want my exegesis, my theory of where this comes from, because clearly someone's putting these ideas in his head. He's thinking about the war right now. This doesn't come in a vacuum. My dad came out and made some statements against Laura Loomer yesterday. Ain't that interesting? He came out and says she eats dog food on air for $200. She's just petty enough to go to Trump and do something like this. That's where I think partially it comes from. Partially it comes from him being insane and being 79 years old, and God knows who's in his ear. But I think that had something to do with it. I mean, it's just so disgusting because it's the exact same language that we saw, kind of out of the Biden administration. This is going to lead to bad things happening to people in media exercising their First Amendment. He wipes his ass with the Constitution.
Yeah, well, it was obvious last year he has no thoughts or concerns about the Constitution. He doesn't romance about the country or the Constitution or the Bill of Rights at all, other than, whatever type of, grandstanding he wants to do, pretending to be an American patriot. He was asked, I forget what it was. There was an interview. Somebody asked him about the Constitution. It's like he'd never even heard of it. And he started talking about the ballroom. So, but I agree directionally. That's why I'm saying today, like, I had a concern that this administration would start arresting people for speech. Now I have a probability.
Well, and notice that this is just like COVID. We're like, oh, we got to censor you for COVID. We got to come after you, misinformation, disinformation. This is even scarier because this is to them and to all of us, a matter of national security. It's the war. So he's coming out and saying these people are being anti-war, attacking them directly for that position. It's going to be unsafe to be anti-war. That's what he's signaling here.
That's exactly right. And I think that's why they were going after that journalist, because it was part of a book that talked about Israel's influence. It kind of came from an anti-war perspective, from more of a, kind of a documentary style book presentation, but it was anti-war. It talked about Israel's influence. And now the next thing you know, the former Delta Force military member that was talking to the author, now she's arrested.
Right.
And by the way, real quickly on the Loomer thing, because I want to actually dig into that for a second. I don't think Loomer has that much influence. I have to be honest. I think I'm not saying you're wrong, but here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm thinking. I think Trump knows Loomer is a psychotic freak, right? I mean, who doesn't? You know, it's kind of like the most obvious thing out there. And Trump is still very close with Roger Stone. Trump, I think, is even very like superstitious with Roger because, to Trump, Roger saved his life. Roger saved Trump's life by stopping him from getting on a helicopter that ended up crashing and killing everybody on it. So, Roger calls out Laura Loomer as much as anybody for being a total freak. So I don't think that this is something that's lost on Trump. My concern is that it's not Loomer, it's Adelson. That's my concern. My concern is that there might be people that have a direct line of communication with Adelson, maybe Laura, and that's how they can get to Trump, is they go bitch and whine to Marion Adelson, and she donates, $250 million to Trump. So obviously she's got Trump's line. She might talk to Trump more than anybody. She goes to the White House. She goes to Mar-a-Lago. Is Adelson behind this? Who is behind this? Because it's like you said, this is not something that I don't believe this is something that Trump came up with on his own. I would be shocked if Trump is watching a Megyn Kelly show, if Trump is watching a Tucker Carlson show, if Trump is watching an Alex Jones show, if Trump is a Candace Owens show, like just Trump. How does Trump even know enough to have an opinion on these individuals right now? I don't believe that that's the case.
Those are the people that are influential enough in kind of neutral and like kind of intro point politics to really matter. Kind of like a Charlie Kirk. That's what you get the flavor here. Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Alex Jones. Regular people of all different colors, stripes, nationalities, ethnicities, religions. They watch people like my dad's show, people like Tucker's show, people like Candace's show, people like Megyn Kelly's show. What this is this is Trump declaring the heads that he wants on spikes, in my opinion. And like there's a war going on. There's peace talks going on right now. There are a million things to do that are more critical than this. This is very important. This is a key moment. And I think you're going to see a change in the signaling from the administration. They've been pretty hands off. We're going to start seeing Biden era, school board meeting level stuff here.
Well, I guess so. We asked this question. What do all four of those individuals have in common? The four individuals that Trump called out today, what do they have in common? Well, they have been critical of the administration, but okay, people have been critical of Trump for what? Since 2015. So we're talking about more than 10 years, and we've never seen a crash out like that. It's like if he's going to do a crash out post, he's going to do like a two-liner, right? He's going to do like a two-liner, a punchline, whatever. It's never going to be like an essay. This guy just wrote a damn essay. He just wrote I mean, what is that? Like, I don't even know that you can't even post that on X. It's too long for X. So it's not like he's just like, oh, I'm just going to throw out a quick zinger, a liner or two. No, this was like a whole damn essay. Oh, so what do they have in common? They've been critical of Trump. I don't think that's it, because that's never motivated anything like this before. What else do they have in common? They're all critical of Israel. Oh, could that possibly be what is driving this? Because I don't know anything else that all of them have in common as far as what they do on their show, what they talk about, the presentation, the politics. Those are the only two things, because I follow all of them. I've got a general idea of what they do, what they talk about. Those are the only two things I can find in common. So if I'm looking at those two things, I'm saying it's the Israel factor that's driving this. And Rex, they love to play this game, and they're going to do it again. They love to play this game. It's like, oh, you have Israel obsession, Israel derangement syndrome, all of this stuff. Meanwhile, they bash you over the head with Israel all day long, and you're just like, hey, could you stop bashing me with Israel?
It's gaslighting.
Israel.
It's gaslighting, and it's ritualistic abuse. Okay, they're making fun of us every second, every day. This is Trump doing the Fortnite L dance. Right in front of us. And it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable that MAGA is MIGA now. You have to understand this now. It's Make Israel Great Again. If you don't acquiesce to that, if you're not a never Trumper that's now reformed and a part of the holy mission to rebuild the third temple, then it's time for you to be put out with the trash. And that's what he's trying to do. And the sad thing, man, there are so many people who believe this garbage. I've gotten back into the Q side of Twitter. There are people that believe that this is all a plan, that this has all been thought out. I call these people out, invite them on the show. They won't come on the show.
It's the only hope there is. The only hope you have left is that Q is real. There's nothing else to cling on to at this point. Either queuing
That's a
people
key
or we're
point.
totally cooked.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if you've talked to your dad. Like I said, I sent him a message.
Not
Uh,
yet.
So, I extended an olive branch to him. We haven't talked. I haven't talked to him since the Memorial Day breakup.
Well, the thing is, all this stuff is bigger than the fighting and the disagreements and whatever, because we're in this to stop a war. And that's why, like, I have that quartering guy on my show, and he's laughing on Twitter about oil prices going down or not being as high as they're projected to be. We want to be wrong about all of this, and that's what makes us correct. Do you understand that very simple principle? We don't want war. We don't want death. We don't want murder. And in that basis, we are right. All these people that are having to justify the events taking place right now, the killing of the civilians, the genocide in Gaza, the destruction of the global energy market, and the starvation of subsequent millions of people who can't get fertilizer and energy, all the people that make excuses for those things or talk about why it's justified and talk about the theocratic regime, we are literally an occupied nation with a president that acts as an agent of a foreign country. And this guy ran on a platform of doing everything opposite of what he's doing now. He promised to do the complete inverse of what we're getting. We wanted MAGA, we're getting MAGA. We wanted America first, we're getting America second. That's the policy that we've been handed. And people like my dad, let's be honest right now, okay? My dad's done a little bit of the tap dance because we wanted Trump to be successful. And as he said many times, the Democrats will throw him in prison if they win. And I think that there's probably a lot of basis to that because we're hated by both the right and the left for being for real. And there's a little bit of tap dance going on. There's a little bit of waiting by the door. There's a little bit of too much golden age graphics and whatnot. That's 100% true. But at the end of the day, my dad's a principled man who just wanted to save his business somehow and wanted to believe in the guy that promised everything he's ever believed in. It's not my dad's fault that guy was a damn liar. Okay, we were all duped. We were all fooled. And we all, at some level have to feel, culpable for it. But the classic thing of, oh, there's no alternative. There's no alternative. That doesn't work. We're supposed to be the alternative. That's what being correct means. That's how we're supposed to win people over, to convince them, to bring them to our side. We're not supposed to be the lesser of two evils. We're actually supposed to be good. And again, I hearken it back to the ye old quartering coming on the show, laughing in my face about, oh, I've seen more presidents come than you. Things just get worse. We have to accept it. Things don't actually ever get better, kid. I hear that, and that's that spirit that's destroyed the country. And you can say whatever you want about my dad. My dad's always advocated for solutions, for change, for real pro-America policy, which is making the country better. And when has Donald Trump ever made the country better? What has he done? Oh, the deportations, 300,000 people. I'm sorry, Obama did way more. And we can't get a $17 billion border wall built. But, oh, hold on, wait a minute. Going to take a pause here. Can't build the $17 billion wall, but we can spend $11,500 a second and spend over $50 billion and waste hundreds of billions of dollars in military equipment and trillions in global positioning in another conflict, in like the 10th conflict, the 20th conflict, the 100th conflict in the Middle East for absolutely no reason. And then the people that call that out and say, hey, we supported you not because we liked the funny hair, not because we liked the red hat. We didn't support you because you were Rodney Dangerfield. We supported you because you promised to fix this. You promised no more wars. I mean, think about it, man. Just the hypocrisy is like an ocean. You can swim through it. Think about the Saudi presentation he gave to all the Gulf state leaders talking about no more neocon wars in the Middle East. Are you kidding me? And
Well,
we're supposed to sit here, and I give this analogy a lot. Thanks for letting me monologue, but I'm going to do it here. Trump, America, the empire, whatever you want to call it, is like this fine king. And he's dressed in purple. He's dressed in diamonds. He's dressed in gold, fine leather, you name it. And he gets a new tailor. And that tailor's name is Bibi Netanyahu, or just Israel for short. And what does Israel do? Israel convinces the king, America, Trump, to give away all the power, to give away the wealth of the ancestors, to give away the blood and the treasure. And eventually he has nothing left. And now we are left to parade naked in a complete mockery of our country, of everything our country is supposed to stand for. The land of the free and the home of the brave. Give me a break. The land of the serf and the home of the slave. That's what I say. And that's what we make other people around the world too. We turn everybody into slaves because we're that model. And just like the Palestinians, the Gaza project, the Gaza solution, the Gaza method, the Gaza treatment, that's what they call it. They're giving us the same treatment over here. It's called soft kill. It's the stuff my dad talked about for 30 years straight. And to deny it is to deny the truth.
I want to throw a couple of things out there, and then I'm going to address what you said. I'm also wondering, because this is kind of sometimes what drives Trump. Trump saw that Melania was getting the front page news today, and apparently he didn't know. Apparently Trump did not know Melania was going to do that press conference and make that statement about Epstein. Maybe that pissed Trump off, saw that she was in the headlines and said, no, I'm gonna throw all that off and release the Kraken and make sure I'm the topic again today. Just throwing that out there for consideration.
He is that petty for sure, but it's just a clear signal of threat. Again, that's what it is.
So you addressed two things there. There is one geopolitical development that continues to happen, and it is not getting enough attention, and that is our allies around the world are looking at us differently now. They're looking at us differently. They don't believe they can trust us. They don't like Israel. They look at us as if we're controlled by Israel. I'm not so sure that the United States of America in our lives has been in a worse position geopolitically than it is now because of Donald Trump. I think our allies are ready to abandon us, which you can call me whatever you want, an isolationist. I'm totally for independence. I'm totally for, whatever you want to call it. Let's be independent. Let's be self-reliant. I don't want to hear about allies and all of this other foreign stuff that we get involved in. But having said that, we do have allies. We are in a very complex, multipolar world, and I don't think they trust us right now. I don't think they trust us, and I could see a major event happening and there being that pivot from the international community against us. And the stacks are already there waiting to fall, whether it's BRICS, whether it's the Gulf nations, whether it's all of these investments that Trump keeps talking about, which I'm not even sure exist and maybe never will now. I think we got a serious problem with that. But, I really don't even want to say too much about this until I'm going to be curious to see what Alex says.
Me too.
Everybody knows. I mean, it's not like this is a secret. Everybody saw Alex and I having it out on air about Trump. Everybody saw the different times we'd kind of have these struggle sessions on the show when I'd be, saying negative things about Trump or the direction of the administration, and he'd come in and kind of defend it. This was happening. And so I always understood it's like, hey, you're going to have debates in politics. You're never going to see eye to eye with everybody. I think kind of understood in the background, and this is where I don't want to say too much, but I always kind of understood in the background. It's like, look, Alex probably thinks, or to some extent, maybe subconsciously believes that the only hope he has to right the wrongs that have been done against him are Trump and the administration. And so you kind of hold on to that. You kind of hold on to hope. So I always kind of understood both of those things. But obviously now, if Alex hadn't already reached a conclusion, I would say after this post today, he certainly has reached a conclusion on that. We'll see what he says.
Trump views it, probably, if he is familiar with what my dad has been saying or just any of these people, he views it as a betrayal of himself, that we're against him. We actually don't care about Trump at all. Trump is a civil servant. We care about the things that he's supposed to do. But Trump doesn't actually do anything. He just rubber stamps whatever the wicked little monster, whoever actually runs our government, whatever the devil basically tells him to do. So that's a big element to this as well. And you talk about Susie Wiles, I talk about Laura Loomer, who it could be. Really what it is it's a spirit of demonic possession that's taken over that White House. Just in plain terms, that's what it is. It's a schizophrenic evil spirit that causes them to double down or backtrack or do the tap dance on every single thing they talk about, to the highest level of national security, to the lowest level of being petty and attacking people in media that disagree with you. It is the most violent response possible, the most deranged response possible, and the most false response possible. That's all they can do. All they can do is lie. They haven't told the truth one time. Show me. Show me where they tell the truth. I can't find a video of Caroline Leavitt or Trump doing that. Just like Biden. At least Biden wouldn't talk.
Yeah. Or couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you this. This is kind of my I'm handing out digital pamphlets here to anybody who's willing to take them. If you ever get the quarter poundering back on your show, or you have any other debates like that, this is the question we have to force into the conversation. This is the question we have to force every Trump supporter to answer right now. And you can phrase it one or two ways, which is, are you willing to trade the midterms? Are you willing to give Democrats the House and the Senate for a war with Iran? Are you willing to make that transaction? Or if you want to be a little more direct about it, are you willing to give the Democrats the House and the Senate to support Israel? Are you willing to do that? Because that's the transaction we're up against here. In this midterm election, that is the transaction we're up against. Let's have the conversation. Don't sit here and lie to us that it's 100% support for MAGA. I mean, that just shows you how gone Trump is, that here he is bashing some of the biggest MAGA people, and then he says, but I have 100% support from MAGA. Then why are you posting this message, you buffoon? You absolute imbecile. You've contradicted yourself in your own written text. It's one thing to contradict yourself when you're just talking. It's like, okay, maybe you get lost in the sauce when you're out there talking. When you're sitting there publishing something and writing something, it's like you have total editorial control. It's not stream of consciousness. You should be able to get these things into some sort of a parameter to make it consistent. And he just totally contradicts himself. So this is the question, though. They have to be forced to answer that question. That is the transaction that we're about to experience in the midterms. And they're going to try to blame everybody that Trump just called out. They're going to blame Candace. They're going to blame Tucker. They're going to blame Alex. They're going to blame Fuentes, everybody else. No, it's you. You guys are doing this. I want MAGA to answer the question. Are you willing to give the Democrats the House and the Senate for this war with Iran? Are you willing to give the Democrats the House and the Senate for Israel? That's the question. That's what's on the table. I want them to be forced to answer it. And you know why, Rex? Because none of them will. None of them will answer that. None of them will say yes. And so then when it happens, we can look them straight in the eye and say, you did this. You did this. Not us. You.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say I agree. And keep in mind, people are being burned to death as we speak in the country of Lebanon right now, not just to mention Gaza. I was on for 3 hours with Keaton Weiss just on due dissidence. And that's why I was able to hop on so quickly. The studio was still on. They just bombed another 10 Palestinians. There's another 10 civilians dead. I mean, all these numbers.
Oh, yeah. They just
well, what they want to do is they want to sneak in all these little conflicts and these little invasions, little, of course, in the grand scheme of things, but not little to the people involved, because they know the geopolitical situation is so terrible and this war with Iran is an excuse for them to have it. That's one of Netanyahu's main reasons for wanting it to continue, besides dodging the corruption charges and besides wanting to rebuild the third temple. This war with Iran and America's involvement in it and the domination of the news cycle within, however you say it, that prevents them from being noticed when they're doing things like displacing 1.2 million Lebanese people. So we got to stay like we're receiving flack because we're over the target right now, and we're drawing attention to the fact that our government and therefore us by proxy, we're paying to kill little kids right now. And that's why any of these people on the internet that support the war, they got to hold up an image of a dead kid and do thumbs up next to it. Like that's the only way you're allowed to have that position. So you see what I'm saying? I'm sorry to be dark, but like, I don't want to hear about how, oh, you support limited military engagement. There's no such thing. When you invade another country, there's no such thing as a limited engagement. 10,000 missile strikes or however many bombings we've done. Does that sound like a limited engagement to you? Hey, you know what? It's just over a dozen. Yeah, 14, whatever. Who cares? Just over a dozen Americans dead.
Hey, Black Lives Matter. I mean, Israel has the right to defend itself. I mean, hands up, don't shoot. I mean, Israel is just defending itself. I mean, I can't breathe. I mean, Israel was attacked first. I'm sorry. I'm getting all my same propaganda confused.
Well, actually,
that's what it is. If Lebanon started bombing Israel in response, when Iran bombs Israel in response, if the Palestinians attacked Israel in response, they have no right to defend themselves. They have no right. Nobody has no right to respond to Israel.
Yeah, I mean, if you run around in a circle and yell Hamas, Hamas, Hamas like 100 times, Rabbi Shmuley will appear and do your taxes for you.
You know what? This is a good place to end it because DMT is chomping at the bit. I'm going to bring him on here.
No, you're all good, man. Thanks for having me on.
You know what's funny? This is the close with Rex Jones here, coming on at a spur of the moment notice after the Trump post today. It's almost like I was saying this yesterday, and then I guess the post kind of feels the same way. It's like we're in WWE. I mean, it all feels like a WWE show. Schmully is a perfect example. But I was referring to yesterday, like over the weekend, this is happening, and then yesterday, because of what happened and Trump doesn't do the strikes. So you go on all the different news outlets, you scroll through social media, and it's all of these people that are saying, you know, Trump needs a strike. Trump needs a strike. And every single one of them has a Star of David necklace on. Every single one of them has the yarmulke on. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is WWE. Like, this is literally a WWE show. That's what they do in WWE, is they give some sort of identifiable, a shirt, a face paint, like they have something. It's like you can identify them. You know who they are, what they stand for. So then you kind of get the larger plot. And then it's here's Rabbi Schmully. It's like, this guy's a total clown. It's like, this is all WWE. It just feels like it's WWE. It's like they want us to know this. They want us to know what's going on. It's like WWE. They want you to know this guy, you know, whatever he is.
That's the humiliation ritual. And the secret is they want you to have fun and begin to like the humiliation ritual. And then you're not a human being anymore. You see how that works?
Yeah, you're a slave. They want to enslave us. Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. And really quick, I got to do it. 50percentoff.com, jonescbd.com. I have amazing CBD. Check out my Dream Wave and check out Knockout Sleep Support on 50percentoff.com. We got a supplement en route together. We're going to be putting something out.
Well, okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do it then. We'll do it. You just did a bit
Sorry.
I want to reach through the screen and choke you digitally for doing this, but we'll go ahead and do it. You forced my hand. Rex and we may have an announcement before the end of the week. It might be next week. Rex and I will have an announcement on a product that we've been working on. We're very excited about it.
Yes.
It's something I've been working on for a long time, actually. And Rex is helping me to bring it to fruition. We will have that announcement probably next week. I think let's just be safe and say we'll make the announcement next week. But as you're talking about some of the products that you sell, which I like, by the way, we're going to have an announcement next week. So I'm looking forward to that. Rex, thanks for jumping on here in short time.
Thank you. Sorry for plugging. You know, it's in my blood. Appreciate you, Owen. And again, just everybody just pray for peace. You know,
you've been trained well, Rex. All right. Thank you. All right. I want to bring on, well, let's just do a short break. DMT on the other side, then Roger Stone.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
You have found your political compass. The Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
All right, DMT, here you are. This is your 2026 debut, a crazy day. I'm going to give you the platform. I'm going to give you the stage here. Your response to this crazy news today. You might want to turn your mic on. I'm not hearing you. That's fun. That's all right. Work it out. Sorry, these things happen. It's got to be on your end, brother. That's right. Just figure it out. There's no problem here. I need to get this invitation to Roger Stone anyway. There you go. I can hear you
good now.
Yep.
All right. So what are you asking me?
Just your response to today. Just go ahead. Just let it out.
To Trump's tweet?
Yep. Or whatever you want.
If
you want to talk about something else, that's fine.
I don't even give my opinion about this stuff anymore because the MAGA cult has gotten so aggressive that they'll find your house, they'll find your job, they'll call people. If you actually get enough influence, like, I mean, obviously I'm a very small account, but even me, I get harassed like every single day. And I'll even just share an article that's got an attributed, real source on it. It won't even be personal opinion. So I think that when you see a dying animal in the end stages of its life, it usually really lashes out. It gets super aggressive, like Old Yeller. And I think that we're kind of seeing that with parts of MAGA right now. It's not a good sign when people have to kind of yell at you and threaten you when we're questioning if their movement is still viable or still popular. Things that are popular and that are viable and that are on the upswing, they certainly don't need anyone explaining away of why it's still relevant because everybody, obviously likes it. So if people like Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Owen Schroyer and Nick Fuentes, if they're not MAGA anymore, and MAGA was a thing since 2015, then MAGA no longer exists. So if you want to call it MAGA, or you want to call it neocon trash, if you want to call it, Jewish interest controlled, or whatever you want to call the current iteration of MAGA, it certainly is not the MAGA that I'm familiar with. So I think we're just witnessing the basic collapse of a political movement, and you're seeing all of the usual suspects lash out. And that's why all of the never Trumpers and all of the people that hated most of the political ideologies that me and you have supported for many years, that's why you're seeing them now carrying the water for MAGA as their main spokesman. So this was a movement that was supposed to fight corruption, fight globalism, fight illegal immigration, fight legal immigration. And Donald Trump has essentially betrayed every critical key promise. And now they're simply using propaganda infused with trillions of dollars behind it in order to force people to have a certain viewpoint. So, I mean, I understand your frustration. We talk about it every day, and I'm sick of it too. The only thing is, and it's not to blackpill people, but I don't really see an immediate solution. I see a system that is too corrupt to fix. We need an actual champion that is willing to, not take money, to not bow down to the threats of foreign and special interests of Israel, whoever. It's like we need, truthfully, legal revolutionary change. And I don't understand how a system is ever going to allow that when the primary benefactors of just of how corrupt it is now, the primary benefactors are the ones that are writing the policies. So we need things like eliminating lobbying. We need things like many obvious things that me and you could come up with right now, but those same people would have to pass the laws that they're currently benefiting from. So I just think that it's it's a really hard time politically because I feel like we don't have a ton of direction, as you've been discussing recently.
Well, it's not that MAGA has died. MAGA dying would be mostly inconsequential. MAGA has been co-opted. It's totally different. Everything that we built has now been turned against us. If it died, then it could just, wither away and it wouldn't be a problem. It's been co-opted and turned against us. And I think that that's the real issue that we're facing. And what's crazier now, as we're more than an hour into this after Trump post world, believe me, folks, this is a serious mile marker. This is more than just Trump crashing out on his Truth Social. This is a mile marker of the administration. Everything changes from here, quite frankly. Everything changes from here. So we'll see what the aftermath is. But what I am seeing, you talk about what you've had to go through just from, you kind of emerged on X just to report news is what you do. You just kind of report news. You really don't even do opinion. And yet they attack you relentlessly. I know you've seen a lot of the stuff that I've gone through since, we've been friends for decades here. So you've seen a hint of it from what I've gone through. Now you're kind of dealing with it a bit yourself. Well, now I'm seeing that this has basically taken the MAGA cult that was, kind of a whimper in the wind, but you heard it, you noticed it. It was kind of a whimper in the wind. Now he's given them an amplifier. Now he's given them a megaphone, and they're all celebrating this like, yeah, Trump, destroy them, crush them, put them in jail. They're foreign agents. And so now what he's done is he's just given them the wind in their sails. The MAGA is going to become more unhinged and more cult-like than you've ever seen it. This today just gave the MAGA cult the equivalent of a digital atom bomb. Trump just gave the MAGA cult the equivalent of, Patriot missiles, Tomahawk missiles, whatever you want to say. And so they're just going to go crazy now. I mean, the MAGA cult is about to be even crazier than it's ever been. DMT, Roger Stone is joining me now. Appreciate you popping on here. We'll be in touch later. All right, there goes DMT. All right, joining me now, Roger Stone. Roger, when we talked earlier, it was a normal day. Not so much anymore, I would say. I think Trump's post today, I'm sure you've at least heard about it. I think everything changes from here, Roger. I don't know about you. Do you think I'm overreacting to this?
Well, it's been such a busy day. I'm not certain which of the president's many posts, but I mean, I do know from a historical point of view, Alex Jones was for Donald Trump in 2016 when there was heavy pressure on him to be for his fellow Texan, Ted Cruz. I actually think given InfoWars' enormous audience on the American right at the time and today,
you wrote a book on it.
Major factor in Trump's nomination. I wrote it in my book in 2016. Alex Jones is for Trump in 2020. He's with him in 2024. Now, that doesn't mean Alex Jones always agreed with Donald Trump, but then I don't always agree with Donald Trump. You know, I agree with him most of the time, but there are occasions, issues, COVID-19 vaccination, for example, where I disagree with him. So I kind of put him in a different category of these other people. Now, that said, very disappointed in him for calling for the removal of President Trump on the 25th Amendment. He hasn't done anything to merit that. It's funny how the people who say he's sick, he's mentally ill, he's unbalanced, they had no problem with the fact that we had a veritable vegetable in diapers, heavily sedated through his entire presidency, Joe Biden. But boy, when you asked Jake Tapper about that, he went crazy. There's no evidence that Joe Biden is infirm, other than seeing him every day, falling down, shaking hands with people who didn't exist, didn't know which way to get off the stage. I loved it when he gave an obituary speech and then called for the person who he just eulogized to stand up in the crowd. That was one of my favorites. So, Jones got to speak for himself. He wants me to come on tomorrow. I'm thinking about coming on and kicking his ass, to be honest with you. But I do know history. I do remember history. And unlike these others, Megyn Kelly very specifically, he was always for Donald Trump. And he's certainly entitled to criticize him. But in this case, it's kind of funny. When it appeared like we were heading to thermonuclear war, the left was saying, he's crazy, he's insane, he's a warmonger. And then when he pulls back, they say, he's weak, he folded. I mean, which is it? Which is it?
Well, there's no point in trying to analyze the left. I think they're not consistent on anything politically, morally, culturally. So I don't really carry too much weight. But the hypocrisy stands. I didn't let you down, Roger. I told you I would have the hat today. Now the problem is, Roger, I tried to do. I'm not a Panama hat expert like you are. This is kind of a new game for me here. This was a gift from Roger, by the way. I tried to do. I tried to hit it with the steamer to give it a little shape. I don't know. I mean, does it get the Roger Stone approval? What do I need to do here?
I think it's good, but the angles, you tilt it very slightly.
I need a little more of a tilt there. It's too much of a bend.
Just tilt it very slightly, and it's a bit more rakish. Now, you do have to admit the women in Texas, they love this hat. Admit it. You want to?
Well, I don't know. I've never worn it out. Do you want to tell my audience what you told me today about wearing the hat?
I said you would get a lot more women if you wore the hat. I'll clean that.
Yeah,
up.
That's how you said it. That's exactly how he said it, guys.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it right.
I have a bridge in Brooklyn I'd like to sell you, but yes.
All right. Well, I told you I'd wear that.
That's looking very fly. I got to tell you, very fly.
All right. We can work it. We're working it in the show. The reason we wanted to come on here, I guess it kind of even ties into the post. I wonder if Laura Loomer penned that for President Trump. That seems like a Loomer style type of statement from Trump today. But no, I wanted to have some fun dunking on Laura, who seemed to have lost her mind entirely. I mean, this woman has had like a psychotic break, it appears.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. And we now know that she has been institutionalized twice previously. That's what the AI says. That's what all research says. She says no, but why would we believe her? And it's hard to understand how Laura Loomer now stands with the Bushes and the Cheneys and the Lindsey Grahams. That's the wing of the Republican Party she's in. Just the bloodlust, the desire for mass murder, mass genocide, mass murder in World War III is just out of control. But what she tried this past week was a very clever stunt. You know, when you think your girlfriend's going to break up with you, you hear, through the grapevine, they're about to break up with you. So you break up with them first, so they can't say that they broke up with you. Laura Loomer, I think, persuaded either directly or indirectly, President Trump, that Tulsi Gabbard, who's I think one of the very best nominees, best appointees in this administration, who may or may not have had reservations about the war, because that's a matter of executive privilege. She's entitled to give the president her best assessment, but who then went to the Senate. Now, unlike Joe Kent, who said one thing during his confirmation hearings, that Iran was close to having a bomb, and if that was true, they had to be stopped. Then he decided to resign as a matter of conscience because he didn't believe that Iran had a bomb and they were close to having a device. So, Joe, which is it? I mean, I know you have a square jaw, but and that chiseled look, but I think that's betrayal. That's not how it works. I mean, I've worked for 4 presidents. Diversity within your administration is a good thing. The president should hear every point of view before he makes a decision. But when the president makes a decision, then his loyal appointees have to support that position. So that kind of grandstanding, I didn't approve of from Joe Kent. But Laura Loomer somehow, I think, persuaded the president that Tulsi Gabbard was about to resign, and therefore he had to quickly fire her in order to avoid that. And she gives herself away when she says on Twitter, Tulsi Gabbard is about to resign or be fired. Fortunately, the president reached out to me. Now, while I won't get into the specifics of the conversation, I've made it clear that, A, she had done nothing to merit being fired. The Loomer's insistence she betrayed Trump. No, she didn't betray Trump, not in the slightest. Secondarily, it was Tulsi Gabbard who declassified the Russian collusion documents. Now, the CIA director, John Ratcliffe, he could have done that in Trump's first term, particularly at the end of the first term, could have done that. He had access to them. He knew what was in them, but he didn't do that. And I think that would have not created the backdrop that allowed them to say that it was plausible that Trump lost the 2020 election. It let the Russian thing continue to fester. So Tulsi Gabbard, already a hero, because she declassified the Russian collusion documents, and because that proves that there was a seditious conspiracy that began in August of 2016 that continued in an Oval Office meeting with Barack Obama, with the crazy Joe Biden, with Susan Rice, with the Islamic convert, John Brennan, the corrupt FBI director, Rod Rosenstein, and others, to frame Donald Trump in the so-called Clinton plan, put forward by John Podesta and Fat Ankles herself, to blame, to try to sully Trump's election by somehow claiming falsely that it was because of Russian collusion. So Tulsi Gabbard, I think, stood tall when she declassified that. She also pushed very hard for the raid on the Fulton County Board of Elections, as well as the getting information in Maricopa. The president has charged her with getting to the bottom of the question of whether American elections are secure or not, both in terms of paper ballots and in terms of the security of these electronic voting machines. Let's face it, there are some folks maybe over in Langley who don't want that to be looked at too closely. That's my view. So some roadblocks have been put in Tulsi's way, I believe. But she is one of the stars of this administration. And in all honesty, just politically, if you terminated her, for which she's done nothing to deserve termination, you would just make her 100 times more influential and more important. And now the opposition.
Why is Trump letting Laura Loomer manipulate him? Why is Trump continuing to let Loomer manipulate him for her own agenda? I don't understand this. It makes no sense to me. She needs to be cut off. Somebody needs to cut Trump off from Loomer. This is outrageous. Is it Adelson? Who's making these calls?
I don't disagree that, but we don't know that she got through directly, or we didn't know whether she had this information passed off. But she may have tell President Trump that Tulsi's about to resign and humiliate him, and he's got to move. That's why she was so confident. It's also why she was so angry when I called her out and said this was a lie. Now, I don't think she's been calling me, an asshole constantly. I think, when cunts act cunty, it's not really surprising. But I stood with her in 2 congressional elections when nobody else would. General Flynn and I were there for her when nobody else would support her. We both campaigned for her. There's nothing in that for me. And with all due respect, she supported my quest for a pardon when they tried to destroy me. But that said, her first race for Congress was valiant. She ran in an overwhelmingly Democrat district against Lois Franco. It is the district where Mar-a-Lago is located. People think because Palm Beach County is wealthy, it's Republican. It's not. It's Democrat. And Republicans are gaining there, but it's a Democrat county. But in the second race, my dog could have won this race. She ran against a terminally ill or an extremely ill incumbent who couldn't campaign, had a limited amount of money in the bank. It was a favorable district in terms of conservatives. It was an overwhelmingly conservative district. That race was almost impossible to lose, but Laura somehow went out and lost it. She spent, $790,000. But none of it on TV commercials, radio commercials, blast emails, mailings, TV commercials,
news jobs, lip filler.
It's just impossible to say. I don't know where the money went. But that always bothered me that she should have won that seat. And of course she didn't. And now she's just gone completely insane. She's gone so far as to taking these AI created videos that were really made for the January 6th committee. And you've seen these videos. They're like, I'm talking on the phone. Can you see my lips moving right now? No, either can I. So that Owen Schroyer, man, he's a real jackass. You don't know whether I really said that or not because I didn't say that.
I remember when all of that happened. I don't want to get into the history here. I just think it was different when I was going to have you on. We were just going to kind of alley-oop and dunk on Loomer all day. But now it's a little more serious, Roger. It seems like the mindset, whether it's Loomer herself or not, it seems like the Loomer attitude, the Loomer mindset is infecting Trump. That's what this feels like to me today. I just don't understand. Look, if Trump has his problems with Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens and Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson, then that's fine. He has his problems, whatever. He gets attacked by the media 24/7. It's been happening since 2015 and he announced he was going to run. But why this? Why would he do this? Why is he picking a battle against some of the most popular people in the alternative media? That's just a fact by the numbers. But B, against people that suffered for supporting him. It's like, what is the agenda? What is the plan? How does he think this is a win? I just don't get it, Roger. Honestly, it makes me concerned that he's lost his mind.
No, he's most definitely not lost his mind. Now you sound like a leftist. He believe me, he's the same guy.
Roger, so make sense of why Trump would do something like this today.
The only thing that's predictable about Donald Trump is the fact that he's completely and totally unpredictable. But I can tell you this: he's his own man. Nobody's scripting him. Nobody is handling him. Nobody's managing. No one's putting words in his mouth. Now, he's got a little bit of a thin skin. There's no question about that. I would have ignored these people. I think in the case of Alex, I think he's largely just disappointed because Alex stuck with him through thick and thin. He pointed out his disagreements, as did I, as did you and others. Tucker, of course, because he was on Fox, he really couldn't be for anybody. And Megyn Kelly tried to put a shiv right in his back in the debate, as you may remember. Then she realized that was career suicide, and she suddenly became a Trump supporter. But I can't explain why he's done what he's done. I also don't think it's the end of the world. I'll say what's the end of the world. If we had gone to thermonuclear war in Iran, that could have ended the world. And that has been narrowly averted. And I think he's done the right thing here. Now, that said, no, Laura, we don't love Muslim extremists. You know better. And if they don't live up to their end of the bargain, they're going to get pulverized because Trump is not a man to trifle with. But the greatest title that history can bestow is that of peacemaker. And I think he'd much rather have a peace deal, if it's a reasonable one, than to go to a nuclear conflagration.
every person that he called out today is against the war, though, Roger. It seems like that's
You're just upset because your name wasn't in there.
Trump has already posted about me, telling me to shut up. This is not about me. I will say the personal.
Well, congratulations. The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
The personal aspect here is that I have supported Trump for over a decade. I was one of the first people, and just like you, I have suffered immensely for my support of Trump. Most people can't even comprehend the cost. I mean, literally the money cost and then the livelihood cost. Most people can't even
anybody you don't need to tell that about it would be me.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why it's personal to me when I see him attacking Alex, as I've seen what Alex has gone through. And obviously Alex and I have had our issues recently. And that's still kind of, it just rubs me wrong. And I feel like it's because they're anti-war. Roger, I don't believe for a second that Trump is following everything that those individuals are saying. Somebody brought him a video, brought him a presentation, and manipulated him into sending that out today. All of those people are trying to stop Trump from doing this war, and now he's attacking them. I feel like Trump is lost. I feel like Trump is lost from us. I don't buy this argument because I hear it all the time. Oh, you sound like a leftist. What policy do I support that's leftist? Criticizing Trump isn't a leftist thing. That's not a policy thing. I'm in the media. I cover politics. Trump, this administration has gone off the rails, Roger.
I obviously don't agree with all of that. I think we don't have men playing in women's sports.
We do.
What's that?
We do have men in women's sports. That is still happening.
Well, it's theoretically illegal, then it ought to be enforced. But that's a question for our Justice Department. If you want to be upset about something, here's something to be upset about. The people who tried to destroy Donald Trump, the people who tried to destroy General Flynn, the people who tried to destroy me, the people who tried to destroy you, the people who tried to destroy will they be held accountable? Will we have justice and accountability? No, those jackasses at the New York Times need to understand it's not about revenge and retaliation. There should be one set of laws. The difference, of course, is that we were innocent. We didn't do anything wrong. I have a lot of T-shirts that say that if you need one. They, on the other hand, violated the Constitution and the law, and I'm waiting for the acting Attorney General, Todd Blanche, to do something. The seditious conspiracy, because it ends in Florida, the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of Florida has the authority to prosecute Comey, Brennan, Clapper, Biden, perhaps even Obama, because I would argue that destroying Donald Trump was outside the realm of his official duties.
Illegally spying, illegal FISA warrants, lying on government documents.
So when will those people? When, Mr. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, when will those prosecutions happen? It didn't take them long to charge you. Didn't take them long to charge me. Why is this taking so long? It's not complicated. Now, I believe the U.S. Attorney in Southern Florida is a good man. I believe he's been ordered to stand down. So when they put out the fact that Brennan got a subpoena, Comey got a subpoena, that's called boob bait for the rubes. That's designed to keep people in the base happy, have them continue to believe that we're going to get justice and accountability. But I would remind you, Todd Blanche is the guy who publicly castrated Ed Martin completely unnecessarily. Ed Martin's a good man. I've known him back to the Reagan days. We worked together. But he had no authority to convene a grand jury. He had no authority to open an investigation. He had no authority to charge anybody. So why did he have to be publicly castrated? By the way, the president did not approve that. Susie Wiles was not informed. She did not approve that. I don't believe Pam Bondi, the attorney general, approved it.
Well, my last question for you is, what do the midterms look like, Roger? I think the House is probably a done deal for the Democrats. The Senate is now up for grabs too. What do you think?
I think it's way, way, way too early to say. I think our politics is extraordinarily volatile. I think we have a huge financial advantage, which kind of cancels out their media outlets, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. As you know, I don't get my news from CNN for the same reason I don't drink out of the toilet.
Trump gets his news from CNN. Trump quoted CNN today.
I can't comment on something I haven't seen. But I do think we will have a financial advantage in terms of messaging. Here's the question. Do oil prices continue? Do they go back down? They were headed down. Gas prices were very low. We will go back to that? Do we get an interest rate cut? If we get an interest rate cut, you're going to have a housing boom in this country. We don't know about that yet. I think that food prices are going to begin to go back down. The president's done these brilliant trade deals with Argentina. Now I think conceivably you're going to see additional deals to bring more beef in the country. As you know, we've had a big problem with Mexican beef because of the screwworm epidemic. So, I mean, go buy a pound of ground burger, and man, prices will blow your mind.
$10 a pound. The Argentinian beef is not good either. That's why China is rejecting it. You know, Roger,
that is categorically untrue. Argentinian beef is outstanding. La Bira burger, man, it's the best burger in town.
Maybe some of it, but not the stuff that they're selling. They're probably keeping their stuff. You know, here's my.
But now, in all honesty, you sound like Laura Loomer, who's a two-term loser in politics and knows nothing whatsoever about it. Say, oh, we're definitely going to lose. Well, a lot of people said Donald Trump was definitely going to lose in 2016. A lot of people said he couldn't possibly win in 2024, but he did. So it is. Yes, we have some challenges.
Roger, we're farther removed from the inauguration. We're closer to the midterms than we are the inauguration. All the stuff that you talked about, which would win the elections, he's not doing. It's the clock is running out here, man. It's like,
well, no. I don't know how you can say that. I mean, first of all, we just averted a nuclear war. If we'd had a war on Iraq, no, oil prices would not have gone down at all.
Is the war over?
Do we know that? We don't know that.
So, okay, so exactly. So the war's not over.
No, but we don't know that. We don't. But it may be over. We just don't know that. So I would just submit to you that we don't have enough information to say definitively that we're going to lose. On the other hand, we have to be more aggressive about these elections. And I'm going to see the speaker next week. When you have an election, let's take the 14th district of Florida just as an example, and Kathy Castor, a leftist, wins, but we absolutely know that 35 fake ballots were counted and they were 100% for her. The House Administration Committee needs to have a vote. No, you are unseated, and the guy who really won that is seated. It's time to play the game the way they do. We really have, if you had an honest count, right now we'd have a margin of about 7 seats. The 2 seats in Orange County, California, no, I'm sorry. You can't have more people voting than are registered to vote. Those elections are voided, period, end of story. So we got to be more aggressive about fighting this out.
And we're not. We're only aggressive on fighting wars for Israel. And I think that's the problem, Roger. And I don't see that changing, unfortunately. But I will say one thing that is true. This is a nice hat. This is a nice hat. And I will test your theory.
Let me know if it has the intended.
Well, I'll test your theory. I'll test your theory on the results.
We're to a bar tonight, and I guarantee the ladies will flock to you.
What do you guys think? Huh? Roger with the hat coming through. All right, Roger. Always a pleasure. You're always a friend. Enjoy the East Coast. We're going to sit here in a Texas storm the rest of the night.
All right, but don't bust bad on Javier Millier's beef. It's outstanding beef, and the price is right.
I prefer the Texas beef, but
well, I do too. But the problem is, under Joe Biden, the herd is down to 26 million. When Donald Trump was president, we had 62 million head. Now we have 26 because of his zany environmental policies. So I understand the American cattlemen are not happy, but dude, you don't have any more cows. You don't have them. And we can't get them from Mexico because of the epidemic there. So getting them from other countries who are our allies, particularly Argentina, where you have a free market economist and an ardent anti-communist in power, that makes sense to me. Good for them, good for us. Brings the price of a good burger down. And the next time I'm in Austin, which maybe never, but the next time I'm in Austin, we're going to go out and have the biggest steak you have ever seen in your entire life.
And we'll both wear the hat, and we'll be surrounded by beautiful women.
Beautiful women. Begging for your phone number.
The most beautiful women. All right, Roger. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks, Owen.
There goes Roger. All right, guys. I want to probably just go to the super chats the rest of the way. I've been kind of monitoring the situation over there. I guess I can just hold over the news for tomorrow, probably. Man, we are just... I'm just afraid that there's so many people that kind of have the same belief as Roger that, hey, it's okay, it's not too late. And it's just like, wait, guys, are we pretending like we've never been here before? Are we really like we're pretending like we don't have to start doing this now? We have a limited amount of time here. Trump is distracted. There's no movement on the things that are going to win the election. It's like we're going to be in October and they're going to be saying, oh, there's still time. You know, we can still do the deep state arrests and we can still do all. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're in year 2. We're in year 2. That's what's so crazy. It's like we're sitting here talking about like, okay, the inauguration is tomorrow. Here's the things we can do. Dude, we're in year 2. My goodness. All right. The hat stays on. We got a ton of super chats today. I'm going to have to just pile drive through these guys. I can't stay on too late tonight. So we're going to have to just kind of crush through our super chats for the day. Dust Vault, we need more Insta slop. You're going to get Insta slop. We're slopping it up on Instagram. I've already decided. Like some serious liberal conspiracy slop. No, I'm going to go a different direction. Is Melania still talking about Epstein, that creep? Yeah, she talked about it today. No, the Instagram slop is going to be totally different. I'm going to do just pure slop. Just pure slop. Like I'm going to do a video. Well, I'm not even going to tease, but it's just going to be pure slop. If you're looking, I mean, I've got the social media team. They're going to post my political stuff, clips of the show and everything, and they do a good job on that. I'm going to do some Instagram only slop. I'm going to do slop that's only going to be on Instagram. Because isn't it for the slop? Like that's my interpretation. I've never been on Instagram. So my interpretation is Instagram is for slop. It's Insta slop. So I'm going to slop it up. If they're going to make me do it, I'm slopping it up. We're slopping it up on Instagram. Woofy. Everyone ignored the pictures of Flotus, Jeffrey, GMT, GM, where they're all partying together and she's wasted. Well, I don't know if all of that is true, but yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Donald Trump and Melania were never friends with Epstein, right? Like, are you really, is that what you're selling us? Because that's ridiculous. It's like we all sit here, how do I get this hat on straight? It's like we can all sit here and look at you guys partying together. So I'm not really sure how that one works out. I don't think Trump was too happy about it, though. Until people understand 9/11, they will never get it. Well, all the corruption just up and left with no firings. Yeah. Seth Dillon's husband was pissed at you. I didn't even get into that today. He had the nerve to wear a face diaper, too. Yeah, I didn't even get to that stuff. So we'll just hold it over. We can do it tomorrow. Cowpoke Ranch. The left has been saying this for 10 years. Y'all always rag on the left while simultaneously stealing leftist talking points and ideology. Be honest. Look, you got me on the Trump thing. I've already said I'm sacrificing that. I'm not going to sit here and I can't defend that. Now, I might have a debate whether the left was right about Trump or not. At the time, I would say no, they weren't. But if you want to say, oh, they predicted this, then fine, whatever. I can't really push back. But I don't understand that. I don't believe that that's not stealing a leftist talking point. I'm responding to what I'm seeing. I'm doing play-by-play. But again, this is why I'm so sick of that response is, oh, you sound like a leftist. Tell me one leftist policy I support. You say, oh, well, you talked about paying teachers more. You talked about healthcare. No, that's not what I said. I very specifically said if I had the choice to spend $100 billion on a war in Iran or $100 billion to pay teachers, I would rather pay the teachers. If I'm going to spend another $100 billion in Ukraine, or I can spend $100 billion to help our education system or build whatever, I'd rather spend that here. That's what I said. Since when is that leftist? That's just choose A or B. That's nationalist. It's not leftist. I'd rather not spend any of the money. That's conservative, is not having any of the money. And isn't that the ultimate irony? It's like, oh, you sound like a leftist. Dude, this administration is leftist. Trump's a leftist. Tell me what's conservative about Trump. Did Trump cut the foreign aid? No. Trump's a globalist. It's like, oh, you sound like a leftist. Okay, Trump acts like a leftist. What do you want to do? You want to play these games? Jose Navarro, notice how the 10-point agreement has turned into a confusing shit show intended for Trump to cop out of his threats and reveal no control over Israel. The whole thing is a shit show. That's what we opened the show with. Just the whole thing is a mess. There's total nonsense. It's Israel making demands and Trump trying to follow through. That's all it is. It's not working. Deleting kids in war and or the womb is a no vote for me, so I guess I'm not voting anymore. It's very pro-life of you. Will Chamberlain was disgusting on Piers Morgan. You talking about when we were on it? Did you just say you want to tag team Laura with Roger Stone? Oh, come on. If somebody laughs at that, then okay. But that's just, stop it. Good God. Rip MAGA for good. Wifey, Alex will be crashing out for months. I don't know. I haven't seen the video. I haven't heard back from Alex yet either. Maybe it's lost in all of these texts. It's crazy in here. I told Alex I'm with him, so we'll see. I'm sure his texts are blowing up. Trump's tweaker posts. Can you call Alex and stop attacking MAGA and Trump? Wait, what? Can you call Alex to stop attacking MAGA and Trump? Why would I do that? No, I sent Alex a message. First time I've communicated him since the Labor Day. Excuse me. Since the no, it was Labor Day. Since the Labor Day breakup. Was I saying Memorial Day earlier? Yeah. It was the first time I've talked to Alex since the Labor Day breakup. So I don't understand. Well, I'm not telling Trump. I'm not telling Alex what to say. So I don't really know. I don't really understand what that's about. From Gray 999. If y'all don't vote Democrat after this, F you. Boy, Trump is the Democrat. Think about that. Trump is the only person ever to make me think about voting Democrat. How about that? I have never considered voting for a Democrat in my entire life. It was something like 0%. Maybe I'd sit one out. It's like if I was going to do a protest vote, it would be I'm sitting this election out. Trump is the only person that's ever made me consider voting Democrat. And if you think if Owen Schroyer is saying that, where do you think the rest of America is at? Where do you think independents are at? Where do you think centrists are at? Where do you think independents are at? If I'm sitting here like, wow, Trump is making me think about voting Democrat, that's me. Imagine what the rest of the country is thinking. Trump is the greatest Democrat of all time. Maybe he was always a Democrat. Maybe that's what this whole thing was, is the Democrats pretend to hate Trump. The Democrat media pretends to hate Trump. And really, he was their agent the entire time. And now he might turn Texas blue, the one thing that the Democrats need to conquer this country. What a wild thing. What a crazy thing this ended up being. Alex and Tucker get swarmed with love in public. Yeah, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see somebody needs to do this. Somebody needs to do this. I don't have all the contacts. I might be able to throw some contacts and maybe get them all aligned. Megan and Alex and Tucker and Candace need to do a panel immediately. Those four need to get together and do a panel. Not digitally. I mean, they all need to get in a studio and do a panel. That's what they need to do. Get in a studio and do a panel, and then it's like, you want to play this game, Trump? Then let's sit here and explain why we don't support you anymore. Let's actually go issue-based. Let's do that. Let's go issue and results-based, and let's sit all four of them down, and let's watch the whole country. It'll get 100 million views, and then they can sit here and lay out how Trump has been a massive failure in the second term, and you can see what this is all about. See, let me explain something here. This is the United States of America, and we have free speech, okay? We, the people, are the government. Donald Trump is not a dictator. Donald Trump is not a cult leader, though he appears to be one right now. Donald Trump, he has no cause to be a tyrant here. He still has to abide by the laws of the land. Right, guys? No one's above the law, right? So, no, you want to come after the American people. You want to come after the media. You want to come after some of the most popular people in the alternative media right now. Fine. They have a First Amendment right to respond to you. They have probably in their own right a duty to respond to you. So I'd like to see all four of them sit down in a panel and actually go policy and actually go results-based discussion, not name calling, not grave digging and dirt tossing. No, let's sit down. Let's get all four of them on a panel. I'd love to moderate it. Of course I would. Who wouldn't? Let's get them. Let's do an issue-based, results-based conversation with the four people that Trump attacked today, and let's see what you have to say. Let's see what you have to say. Where are the deportations? Where are the deep state arrests? Where are energy costs? Where are the farmers? Where's the housing market? Where's the no new wars? Let's see it. Let's see it. In fact, I'm demanding it, as if I have any sort of sway over it. I don't know. Maybe I'll reach out to Alex's producers and say, you guys need to put this together. In fact, they're probably listening right now. You guys should put that together. I am dead serious. Reach out to Tucker, reach out to Candace, reach out to Megan, invite them all to InfoWars, or they can do it wherever they want, and make that panel happen as soon as possible. You didn't betray Trump. You don't owe Trump anything. You didn't betray your country. You didn't lie to your country. You didn't run on one thing and do the other. I'm not going to sit here and watch this liar throw us overboard, the people that paid the highest price here. I'm not going to sit here and watch him throw us overboard and brainwash the American people and destroy the country and leave us in a worse position than when he got in office. I'm not going to sit here and tolerate this. So let's do it. Now you have the mandate. Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens now have a mandate to sit down on a panel and have a discussion on policy and results and bury this guy. Bury him. And you know what? It might be the only thing that can salvage this deal. Trump wants to go through a humiliation ritual. Trump wants to go through a struggle session. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see you answer 100 million views on that panel of them breaking down how you have failed on almost every single campaign promise. Almost every single one. And let's see you respond to that. You want to call them crazy and hurl all these insults and pretend like they don't know what they're talking about? Let's see you respond when it's all laid out, clear cut, black and white, policy and results where you have failed. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. The sooner the better. Where's your crown king? Nothing. Vids of Doug. Metallica. Alex never threatening an entire civilization. It's just my career. Alex McCarthy. Never liked the team up with AJ chats, but this story arc, this betrayal, this ripple in the fabric of space and time will be studied for generations. And we have a bit of a history too, don't we? With politics, Alex. Wifey, W. Owen for the olive branch. I'll let you know when he responds, guys. Maybe I'll post it on X. It'll be a monumental moment. Convert, Trump's a total Manchurian candidate. I did offer this as a possible case when he first was elected. Got to consider it now. Has to be considered now. Iran is a disaster, and Trump knows Israel made a fool of him. Midterms are cooked, so he's lashing out. So, but it's like, why make a fool of yourself? Why make a fool of yourself in this regard? By the way, again, it's just like, I just can't believe it, man. I just can't believe it. And I go back to the issue of this MAGA cult now. And they're going to attack Alex, whatever. They attack me. And it's a very simple question. And I guess I could direct it at Trump. I could direct it at them. The answer is still the same. Who organized the Stop the Steal rallies? Who did that? Who paid for that? Who did everything they possibly could to try to stop the steal in 2020? Was that cat turd? No. Was that the Dilly Beam team? Dilly Beam team. Oh. No. Was it Laura Loomer? No. Nope. You know who did try to stop the steal? You know who did stick their neck out there to try to stop the steal? Alex Jones did. Tucker Carlson did. They both suffered for it. Owen Schroyer did. I suffered for it. Even Nick Fuentes did. Even Nick Fuentes was at the Stop the Steal rallies multiple times. But all these people now, you know all the names. You know all the turds. None of them, not a single one of you did a damn thing. Not a single one of you paid a penny. Not a single one of you stuck your neck out there. Not a single one of you suffered. Not a single one of you made a sacrifice. You guys are nothing more than cheerleaders. And when the season's over and the team's not on the field anymore, where will you go? The same place you were before. Nowhere. Nothing. And you don't even realize that you're attacking the very people that are trying to save you. You don't even realize you're attacking the very people that are trying to fight for you because you're in the cult. So I just can't believe it, man. Maybe January 6th was a setup. Maybe Trump did set us up on January 6th. Because how can he do that to the people that did everything for him? July 6th, Washington, D.C., Stop the Steal. When is the, you got the big America 250 stuff. When is the UFC thing? Isn't that July 4th? So that's going to be, I'm telling you this. Now, I know Dana White's obviously a good friend of Trump. I don't think Dana's going to do anything too detrimental to that relationship. But you know what? The UFC fighters, they're turning on Trump, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. Some of them will always be loyal, but most of the UFC guys that would support Trump, they're all out. They're all done. They're not going to support this orange turd. They're not going to support this traitor. No. What a disaster, man. Stop the seal. Oh, I see. This is a play on words. Who's the seal? Randy Fine? American Sunlight. Trump just rage posted trashing Melania press conference. Oh, he did that too? Yeah, I told you. Yeah. What a disaster. Ken Rose, regarding that post, congrats. Our president literally said the equivalence of calling someone a doo-doo head and yo mama to his former supporters. But it's not even funny. Like, it's not like there's serious consequences to this. This isn't a game. I was going to say this to Rex earlier, and I just ran out of time against the clock. This is part of the problem with the alternative media now in the social media world, where anybody can, get a following with the right grift. They're not serious people. And to them, it really is just a game. They're not really invested in anything. They don't really believe in anything. It's just a game. It's just like a social media game. It's just a media thing. It's like, how can I get a follower? How can I get likes? How can I grow a profile? Can I turn this into a business model? They don't actually believe in anything. They're not serious people. It's just a game to them. It might as well be a video game. It might as well be a board game. They don't understand. No, this is the real world. Like, there are real world consequences to this stuff, and you will pay the price. Convert, Laura Loomer, 100% whispered in his ear. Or I don't know if whispered, shouted, screamed with a megaphone, bashed with a baseball bat. Need to start wearing Trump the traitor shirts at all Trump appearances. Feel the knife in my back. I was going to do an anti-Trump shirt. I think I'm committed to it now. The real Emperor Palpatine. Trump just effed up. Alex is going to go gloves off. I wonder. We'll all wait and see. I don't know if he's posted it yet. I'll check when we get through these super chats. Maybe we'll play it. Common sense. Alex was calling Loomer an Israeli agent just a few hours ago. That's why this is happening. I don't think you can ignore these connections. I don't think these are ignorable coincidences, if they're coincidences at all. I'm ready for no Kings rallies. Let's all go to the no. When's the next no King rally? Doodling Artman. Trump is reacting to the Axios article, MAGA Media's Great Unraveling. Names match exactly. The boomer is only reading legacy media that he derides. That's true. That's an interesting point. I don't know if the Axios story came out yesterday, though, right? I'm pretty sure the Axios story was yesterday. They don't have it on Drudge anymore. But I believe that was up there yesterday. So somebody probably gave that to him. Somebody probably sent that to him and, sent him to a fit of rage. There are definitely a lot of parallels. There are a lot of parallels. Boy, oh boy, I don't know if I want to say this. Let me think about how I can say this safely and accurately. There are certain types of personalities, certain types of people that are very, I don't want to say naive. I don't want to say gullible. It's not that, but impressionable, maybe even manipulatable. You may know somebody like this, where essentially when you get to know somebody like this, you understand that depending on when you say something or how you say something, that is going to determine the response you get. So it's like you could say something to Trump on Tuesday and get nothing, and then you could say the exact same thing to Trump on Wednesday and get everything. And I feel like this is the type of people that Trump has surrounded himself with. They're all manipulating him. They all know, hey, he's in this mood right now, I'm going to bring him this story. We're going to crush these people. Hey, he's in this mood right now. He's impressionable right now. I'm going to bring him this. I'm going to force this on him. I'm going to make him do this. I'm going to manipulate him like this. That's what's going on. I think that's what's going on. And maybe you've been in a situation like that, know somebody like that. I think that's what's going on. I think that they know it's like, oh, you got Trump in the right mood. You bring him something, you get a result. And so maybe that's what happened. Trump was in the right mood. One of these people around him is like, oh, this is my opportunity to bring him this story, and he'll attack these people I don't like. And then, boom, gets it done. Tay Grindr will host White House Correspondents' Dinner April 25th. I assume you're kidding, but at this point, who knows? Maybe it'll be OnlyFans. Tucker is about to waltz into the White House 2028. Yeah, Tucker 2028. Especially after this. Let's go Tucker Owens. I don't know. Tucker, bring in Jones as press secretary or something. I already said, if there's ever a job in D.C. for me, that's probably the only one I would take, honestly. It's because that'd be kind of fun. What's happened to Trump? One word, Epstein. We now have a toddler with the loaded machine gun. This is so bad. Very dangerous. Absolutely. And that's the other thing that these non-serious players don't understand. They think that this war will stay off of our soil forever. So foolish. So foolish. Aurora Sorialis, think deeper. This is the early sabotage of J.D. Vance because Trump knows he's cooked. He knows the clown and is taking him down soon. You think Trump is sabotaging Vance here? I don't think so. I don't think it's like that. Trump reminds me of that Training Day movie scene where Denzel is desperately screaming, he is King Kong, while the crowd is looking at him crazy. I haven't seen that movie long time. I'd need a refresher. Play, run, escape. If Trump is against people like Alex Jones, Owen Schroyer, Candace Owens, I'm officially out from MAGA. I never side with the Ben Shapiros or Loomers. Well, that's who he's with now. Trump equals MAGA. He doesn't care about America anymore. It's pretty clear, isn't it? It's like, why? Why did you do this to us, Trump? What have you done? What have you done? What have you done, man? What have you done, Trump? Alex had a pastor on and prayed for Trump earlier. Well, we saw where that got him. No, you don't pray for Trump. You tell him he's the Messiah. That's what you do. That's how you get your favor. Did Alex respond to your text yet? No. I'm sure his text is loaded, so I don't know. He may not want to talk to me, but I don't really care. I wanted to let him know that I'm with him on this. So he doesn't need to respond. It's not going to change how I feel about it either way. Melania is trying to get ahead of a story. Bill Gates' wife did the same thing. I think there might be something to that. I kind of had a similar thing. I told you at the start, I said, when Melania first came out and did the press conference, I was a little off put by it. And then she got into it and started talking and said she wanted the victims to speak in front of Congress. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is great. Thank you, Melania. So she kind of head faked me on that. But after that, I had the same inclination that this looks like, is Melania looking at things and saying, this ain't good? Makes you wonder. Who called the Alex Owen collab yesterday? They call it every day in the chat. So, I mean, come on. Expose 305, John 10:28, and I give unto them eternal life. John 10:10, I come that they may have life and more abundantly. What do you mean this earth does not bring forth death when everyone here dies? Oh, and go drive to the InfoWars studio. I don't know if that's the best idea. I don't know about that. I'd go in though now. I'd go in. If Alex invited me, I'd go in now. After this, I would. Occam's razor dictates Trump's compromised via Epstein or an Epstein-esque situation. After he got bailed out for his casinos, he was put on the hook. It's one theory. Cornelius Westernmost, Owen and Alex alliance. Not working for Alex, of course, but I can totally see you guys aligning again, and this newest Trump insanity will bridge the gap between you guys. Maybe it'd be good. Maybe it'd be good for the world for that to happen. I've already said I'm willing to take the step. I think our response to Trump is to follow Dan Bilzerian's lead in Florida. We can no longer have the attitude that we just want to be left alone. Well, you know what? We might have Bilzerian on the show tomorrow. He doesn't want to do another. The thing with TMZ went so viral that he doesn't want to do another interview until he has like the campaign infrastructure is ready to go. Just a couple things need to be turned on. So he thinks he can do that by tomorrow. Like, a site to take campaign donations. So hopefully we can make that happen tomorrow. Today changes everything to me. I got to tell you, I don't think that's an overreaction. Maybe it is. That's all right. I'm willing to accept that I'm overreacting to this. Maybe it's potentially true, but to me today changes everything. It changes everything for me today. And that's why I said it's like you have to re-strategize after this. I mean, this is Trump. This is Trump pointing the gun at us now, folks. Like, I don't know where the scene is from. Is it SNL when, what's the comedian's name? He's kind of a fat, funny guy. He's kind of a newer guy. He came from SNL. Name is skipping me. He did a show about a tire shop. What is the guy's name? I'm looking at the chat. What is the guy's name? He did the Epstein joke at the ESPYs. White guy. He does the commercials for Bud Light. Shane Gillis. Thank you. I feel like Trump is Shane Gillis in that scene where he's got the gun, and he's looking at it, and then he puts it in his face, and everyone's like, no, no. And then he points it at you. It's like, I feel like that's what just happened. It's like, here's Trump with the gun. It's like, okay, Trump's got the gun. Then he goes into war with Iran, and he's pointing it at himself. We're like, no, Trump, no, no, no. And he's like, and now he's pointing the gun at us. Oh, my God. I feel like that's where we're at. Harrison cooking Trump. Oh, that's been going on. Bert Bargo, I'm genuinely sorry you went to jail and have suffered for literally nothing. Well, it's not even like that for me. I don't feel that way. I don't have any regrets. I didn't go to jail for nothing. I went to jail for something I believed in, and I still believe in. And that's the truth. And that's the country. Whatever, election integrity, free speech, all of it. So that doesn't change just because maybe Trump was always the bad guy or became the bad guy. That doesn't really change anything for me, except obviously I don't support it now. Hey, you, there are plenty of independent broadcasters on the left who bash Trump, but they weren't mentioned. This seems to be against people who are telling the truth about Epstein, Charlie Kirk, and tiny hats. Well, I don't think that that's all true. I follow all of their work enough. Ironically enough, it's probably Alex I know the least about as far as the content these days are concerned. I don't think Alex talks too much about the Charlie Kirk stuff, right? I mean, I know he has, but I don't think he's really pushing the boundaries on that. No, if you look at what all of them have in common, it's they don't speak positively of Israel or they're anti-war. I think anti-war is the most accurate, though. I think if there's one thing they all have in common, it's that they've all been against this war. But there's other factors. Read Trump's post. It was Larry Loomer or Mark Levin. Alex needs to make a second video game. Laura Loomer is one of the boss fights and Trump and Netanyahu being the final boss. That's pretty funny. From Red Doomer, excuse me. That's pretty funny and probably accurate. I love Rex and the Jones and InfoWars family. My apologies for the mouthful, Owen, but why is our country and our foreign policy being overseen by this literal first grader and a bunch of toddlers? It's a disaster, man. It's so bad. Well, stolen elections have consequences. And so really we're just living in the consequence of the 2020 stolen election still is what it is. That's what it is. That's why Trump's in office now. That's why all of this is happening. Alex Engler. I hope it's dementia at this point so we can cope. We can't say it's not. Even the Trump we knew, if his mind is gone, it feels better to think that way. Alex tried to stick with him till the end. We're all Alex Jones, Donald. Iron lunatic. So ICE meant for Americans seem plausible now. Immigrants were the beta test. You know, did you see the news about the draft too? I mean, guys, it's just like this whole thing. It's like it seems like it's only going to get worse, man. That's the trend. It's like if I know every time I step outside my front door, there's a puddle there. It's like, oh, it's raining. I step out. I know there's going to be a puddle. It's like I know there's a puddle there. I don't want to step in the puddle. It's like everything's worse. It's like everything keeps getting worse. It's not stopping raining. The puddle's not going away. Are we going to see a draft? Are we going to see more war? I mean, how bad? Are we going to see Americans arrested for speech? I mean, all of that to me seems way more plausible today. So, man. The Dignity Act the GOP want destroys the country. Yeah, it's their amnesty bill. And Trump supports it. ICE needs a thorough examination now. Well, I don't even think it's that far. I just think we have to reevaluate everything. So, yeah, I mean, that's part of the reevaluation process. I still think it's not even about ICE necessarily. I mean, I would say of all the different federal agencies, ICE is maybe like one of the most important that we need for border and immigration enforcement. Everyone in that post collab would break the internet. I'm telling you, it has to be done. I even said I hadn't seen your post yet, and that's what I just did to close the show. The election is already lost in November. Gringo Tomato. Candace was right months ago. F your midterms. 2A Ace Galil. Owen and AJ led everyone into supporting second term Trojan horse Trump when some of us have been warning you since mRNA sorcery federal emergency order. He signed us to wake the F up tax revolt is the only way. Man up, sacrifice. I might respond to that at a later date. I don't want to get into the response to that now. Like I said, there's fair criticism. You want to say, hey, you supported this guy? I can't deny it. I mean, if I wanted to push back, I'd say, well, this isn't the guy I supported. Obviously, these aren't the policies I supported. So I'm still remaining true to what I believe. I mean, I'll just say this quick. Here was the difference. The difference between 2016 and 2024 was, and I expressed this many times on my show, by the way, because we talked about what Trump did with COVID. We talked about how bad that was. The difference is in 2016, it was up for grabs. In 2016, let's say, broadly speaking, InfoWars impacted the outcome. So in 2016, for us to throw support behind Donald Trump, that ultimately impacted the outcome. In 2024, it was already a done deal. It wouldn't have mattered. If I would have supported Trump or if I would have been totally anti-Trump, Trump was going to win anyway. 2024 was already a done deal for Trump. So that's the difference. It wouldn't have mattered whether I supported him or not. He was getting in. Unlike in 2016 when he needed our support to get in. That's the difference. And I expressed that on my shows, by the way. You can go find that. Charlie's best friends with all in that post. That's true. And those are the people standing up for Charlie. This thing's getting bad, man. I'm telling you. This thing is just getting bad. AJ message, Owen, I've always loved you like a brother. Sorry for what I've done. Let's reunite. I offer my full support. Call me yours truly, AJ. That'd be a nice message to see. Nothing yet. Sparrow, Bibi is AI. Trump can't read who's posting. Once ceasefire is in effect, Bibi has to go to court. Trump isn't stupid. Can blame Bibi. Demand answers. Melania. Watch latest Lego video. Explains Melania. But then explain that post today. It's like, I'd love to believe there's some domino effect and it's all going to land in the positive, in the positive picture. And then you see a post like that and it's just like, no, it just reminds you, no, there is no plan. There is no positive outcome for this. It's just one crash out leading to another, leading to war, leading to arrests, leading to the fall of the country. Alex Jones was right per usual. Jen Common, maybe now Megyn Kelly will air the Steve Baker podcast that he recorded with her last week and that she decided to bury to protect Trump as administration. You know, I'm in touch with Steve. I keep inviting him on the show and he never does come on. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. France removed its gold, Australia, New Zealand, etc., and removing retirement funds invested in the U.S. stock exchange. Japan selling bonds. Trump destroyed you. I mean, it really feels like it, folks, I'm telling you, if Trump does not have a grand plan, and I know you're already responding, he does, whatever. I'm just telling you, if Trump does not have a grand plan, I think every country in the world right now is preparing for the world without America, is how I see it. I feel the whole world is about to isolate us. And, we'll be in the room with Israel. They'll be covered in blood and freaking out, wearing hats and Teflon and everything else. Wanting to bomb us because there's no one else left to bomb. But that's where this is going. And they're not going to project this. They're not going to say this out loud. And then one day you're going to wake up and the whole world has said, we're cutting ties with America. They're just completely out of their minds. Prague Snob. Hello, Epstein. Class. Roger Stone. Did you ever watch Vicky Morgan peck Ronald Reagan? A peck. It used to be called a kiss. I don't know. Do they still call that a kiss? Trump can't read. He doesn't write his posts. Hat look needs to be in the calendar. Well, this isn't even a cowboy hat here. This is a Panama hat. Big difference. Lighter weight, smaller. Josh Little. Roger Stone has literally become the lunatic old man from Poltergeist 2. Stop it. Talk about Trump and what the F is going on. It's him. Jen Common. Melania speaking from White House for Congress to act and get justice. for the Epstein victims, despite her husband saying they're a Democrat hoax. Clown world. Well, maybe something else is going on there, guys. Maybe something else is going on there. It looks like Trump is just falling apart at the seams, man. Hung we low. Come on, Owen. I know you respect Roger since you both hosted the Real War Room, but how do you not tear this Trump slop and Fox News points from Roger? I pushed back. I wasn't going to be disrespectful of Roger. I was going to let him talk. He's a friend of mine. He came on my show. I'm going to be respectful. I pushed back, though. Come on now. Take it easy on a guy in a hat. Roger's eyeballs are wonky as fuck. Well, it's been a long day for Roger. 7 million D chess to 0 supporters. Please don't bring Roger back. Stop it, guys, with the Roger H. Just stop it. Roger the boomer in denial. Come on, guys. It's okay to disagree with friends and family. It's okay. It's okay. Roger Stone saying to Owen, now you sound like a leftist, and you're just upset because your name wasn't in there. Typical ad hominem and motivational fallacy attacks from a cultist. He's wrong, Owen. It's all right, guys. Roger and I are friends. It's okay. It's okay. I pushed back on the leftist thing. I pushed back. It's all right. But all right, we're letting him have it. I'm sure there'll be more here. Respectfully, I don't need to hear from Roger Stone. Molly Pearson. Oh, boy. Oh, this is happening now. America storms Parliament for Trump, but not to save yourselves or world against a PDFer. Go on mass. Don't leave. Y'all letting him unalive so many. Y'all don't do nothing but talk. Y'all are responsible. Let's clean it up on the speech there. It's easier to read on air. Yay, Bill Gates, lab meat, glyphosate, appeal. MAGA. Paul Meadowhawk, Netanyahu, Trump, and Roger Stone are 3 parts of a human centipede connected lips to butt, eating each other's crap. Yeah, hold on. Roger's not the biggest Israel guy. Roger's not a big Netanyahu guy. So let's just, it's Stone is delusional, thinking Obama is going to jail. They're piling up now. J-Ben, we all know the truth, but this tweet today was a nuke to the face. I can't wait to pop open some champagne when he gets impeached. Yeah, I think that more people feel that way today than they did yesterday. Roger Stone, gatekeeper, we're done with Trump. Chemtrails poisoning everyone. 2A, infringe nationwide. Tyrannical income and property tax revolt time. It is like the last week or something to file your taxes here, isn't it? I'm not saying nothing. The world is holding all Americans responsible. Stop your president. I'm afraid of that. Way to push back. There we go. A little credit here. There we go. Diane Humphreys. I watched some of Alex's show this morning, commented that he thought Trump may have some signs of dementia. Had Pastor on his show, said he believes Trump may be experiencing a spell of witchcraft, and they prayed over Trump. Sorry, the hat is gay as hell. Guys, what do we think about the hat? I think most people like it. I had a warning in my spirit last night. Some of these AI data centers are actually concentration camps, and Trump will usher in police state tyranny. I'd say the odds of that went up today. Stone, you are fake news. I and all my friends aren't voting. How do you expect to win if the base hates Trump? Yeah, well, I agree with that, Tyler. Shilling for foreign Zio beef. Who do you think eats more beef, me or Roger? What in the hell? See, the problem is, I get my news up here. CNBC switches to Shark Tank at 5 o'clock. So they stop doing stock market coverage when it closes. They got some, I don't even want to show, they got some weird thing. You can probably see it in half the screen. I'm sorry, that is distracting for a heterosexual man. Okay, Ohio Mitch. I didn't know Owen had experimental surgery to have his balls removed. What did I do to deserve that? Is it the hat? Oh. I can show. Nah. It's going to cost you a little more than that. Nice try, though. Red light meat and pizza. Here is my thing. No more wars was stated in the campaign. I was pissed by the billions spent on Ukraine and the Biden administration. Kamala would start World War III with Iran. So you oppose the war. You're a lefty. We voted America first. Yeah, they're just pretending like none of that happened. They're just pretending like you're crazy and people didn't go vote for no new wars. It's total gaslighting. Owen, don't cave to Roger Stone. You are in the right. He is not. You have been given the gift of sight and voice. I know you feel this in your gut. Stick with that and pile drive through. We are. Don't worry. Roger Stone will never stop slobbing. Roger's getting it today, man. Co-create with me. Dear Owen, put the word thinking across top of the hat. Add to your merch store. Oh, what, like a thing, like you're still like loading type of a thing? A Panama hat, that's a little tougher to put in the store. Some of us have not apologized for Trojan horse Trump since the snake. We took in his first term, signed federal emergency lockdown orders for his mRNA sorcery. Stop apologizing for the left versus right, Freemason agenda, tax revolt time. Well, Trump, if you don't pay your taxes under Trump, he'll probably have somebody show up with a firing squad. So I don't know. Michael Ion, why care about midterms? You want these Iowa Republicans to win? Hello, McFly. They are in right now, full power, and what are they doing? So why warn us about midterms? Who gives, man? You know, I understand what you're saying. It's not that I'm necessarily promoting Republicans to win. I mean, if you ask me who would I rather have in, I'd probably still say Republicans, but that's not even what I'm saying. Besides, it's already cooked anyway. It doesn't even matter what I say. I'm simply saying they're the ones that care about the Republicans. I'm using their own logic against them. You understand? So it's not like you're coming at me. You think it's my logic that somehow Republicans are going to, we need to deliver Republicans. No, I'm not there. I'm saying use their logic against them. They're the ones telling you to worry about the Democrats. They're the ones saying, oh, the Democrats. I'm saying, okay, if you're afraid of the Democrats getting the House and the Senate, then why do you still support the war? Why are you still willing to prioritize Israel's interests? Because that's the trade-off you're making. So that's the logic that I'm coming at this with. Trump was a Democrat in the 90s. Maybe he still is. Bama's John. Stop it, guys. It's too much today. Kyle Davis, your Roger interview was the biggest display of cuckorty. Didn't ask if he knew about pizza and jerky. Mitch Connor, voting doesn't work. Polls are garbage. It's not left versus right. It's up versus down. We need to stop the bomber boomers before they get the world lit on fire. You're the man, Owen. Stay hard. I feel like there's this weird thing with some of these neocon boomers and some of these Zionist boomers where they've been aching for this war their entire lives, and they just want to see it before they die. Like they feel like they missed out on World War II, or they feel like they missed out on watching the atom bombs. And it feels like before they die, they want to see it. It's like, that's what it feels like to me. It's like there's this thirst, there's this appetite from these generations. It's like, hey, we built all these bombs. Let's see them. It's like, hey, we kind of started all these wars. Let's finish them. It's like, let's just see it. Yeah, I kind of want to see the fireworks show. I want to see, let's light the world on fire. I want to see that before we die. It seems like there's some sort of a weird thrust into this, and that's the mindset. Until peeps realize left against right versus is the swamp plan. Get rid of Trump, go en masse, united Americans are letting him kill us all. Yes, they need to do it like prior to the election with a panel with the real ones. We voted him in. My God, does he ever forget us? F. Levin and the never Trumpers from the beginning. That's right. I'm telling you, do the panel. Do the panel. It'd be the biggest thing yet. It'd be so big. Maybe Rogan will do it. Remember the snake story? That's this war. We know who it is. Yeah, Trump was the snake the whole time, wasn't he? Trump was always the snake. What a game. What a game. Tired of anyone who says I didn't support Trump in his mRNA lockdown decision, yet some of you still played the game in his second term, Owen. This is why Proverbs is necessary. Read it, please. Look, the criticism is fine. It wouldn't have mattered, is what I'm saying. I could have been anti-Trump in 2024. It wouldn't have mattered. He was winning no matter what. So it was like, you might as well just get on the ride and try to influence it. And now you see, they know we have influence, and that's why they're freaking out. Are you secretly Josh Holloway? Do I know who that is? No. I don't even know, what is he in? I've never even heard of these movies or TV shows. I don't even look like him. What are we talking about? I'm actually Brad Pitt. You thought that was bad. Look at Charlie Kirk. Brutal. Veteran for life. Melania's surprise speech, then Trump lashing out. Is the first lady going to abandon Trump like Melinda Gates did Bill Gates over Epstein? Great show as always, Owen. Well, if the chance of that was 1% at the start of the day, I'd say the chance of that is at least 10% at the end of the day. I stuck my neck out in Trump's first term during lockdown in worst place in America, Seattle. Rebuked MAGA then as I rebuke MAGA today while I had to fight the left at the same time. Damn right, Trump set you up on January 6th. Wake up. Bring the heat, guys. I'm all right with it. Bring it on. When men are ready to be men, stand united and tax revolt. Wake me up on the front lines. I'm ready there, taking a nap, waiting for all of you. Tax revolt 2026. You're going to get aliens first. I stand with Melania Trump. Alex Jones. Did he say that? Funky Bohemian, your show today was the best ever. Sorry this happened to you and others who were loyal. Thank you. And I didn't even do the planned show. The show is still sitting on the desk. Funny enough. Monica, I think Melania might be about to blow Trump's cover. Heard he didn't even know she was going to do this speech today. Cheers to Melania. Yeah, we reported on that earlier. Seems to be the case. Snuggle time after supper. No snuggles tonight. Only brutal punishment, struggle, and war. I love you like a brother, Owen. Sorry I'm hard on you. Proverbs 25:7 is where I'm at. Glad you are now seeing what I've warned since Trump's mRNA sorcery. Never compromise. Jesus said narrow is the way. You don't need to apologize. I told you, bring the heat, man. I'm not afraid of it. Bring it on. I'll push back if I want. I'll accept it if I can't. But don't be sorry. 2 days ago, AJ said he concerned Tucker might get kirked. And the odds of that went up thanks to Trump. Big Don, never thought I'd say Roger cucked big time. Great suit, though. Thank you, Ken. All right, last of the day from old friend Alex McCarthy, not Jones. Nothing from Alex. From old Alex McCarthy, high school buddy of mine, roommate in college. Missing and out of order super chats make me sound retarded more than normal. Now I'm out of cash and can't even afford more characters to request a refund. That's funny. That's funny. Hey, you're the ones writing the super chats, not me. But you've always been a bit of a, you were never known for your writing skills, right? Oh, yes. All right. Happy you have your own show, The Bikini Truther. Thank you. Thank you. And that's not going to change. You know, if Alex and I patch up our differences and reunite in some fashion, I'm not, the Owen Report is forever. The Owen Report is here until I die. I shouldn't have said that on a day like today because you know what? Who knows? But there it is. It's a done deal. That does it for the show today. Wow. Talk about a big show. Didn't even do the planned show. We'll see how much of it carries over till tomorrow. Trying to get a couple of guests on, including but not limited to Danville's area, and we'll see who comes on. Tomorrow will be another loaded show, another crazy day. And at this point, Trump seems to lose a little bit more of his mind every time he goes to bed and wakes up. So probably more evidence of that tomorrow. The future is scary. It's some guy. Boy, oh boy. I don't like to say that. I don't like to think that. I'd rather think and say the opposite. But I do play-by-play, and that's not what I see on the field. All right, that does it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Godspeed.